Oh shit. Let's do this again. Hello everybody. Before today's episode, I want to give everybody a very important message. It's imperative that you like and subscribe this video. If you are on YouTube, you can hit that little bell and I'll give you a notification when we premiere our episodes every Monday at noon. Besides that, if you are listening on a third-party app or, audio type of app like Spotify or iTunes, make sure to follow. And, also just share the shit out of this. There isn't a lot of voice out here in Iowa. And, all the support that we can get for doing what we're doing is, for the better. So, without further ado, our guests, plural, are LoveUnity and what's his name? Contra. LoveUnity and Contra. Both very interesting, eccentric characters. I'm sure it's going to be a really good time, as always. And yeah, stay tuned. Excuse me. Did you start that, Molly?
Perfect way to start it.
With the burp. Sync it up with the burp. Here, play this video. I'll show you guys this. Yeah, this is a new studio.
Dude, oh my god, that's gonna be ridiculous.
Does that look trippy as hell?
Dude, it looks like they're in like a fucking underground bunker or some shit. Dude, hey, Joe Rogan was serious about it. You know what I mean?
He's always serious about it.
Dude, Joe Rogan's
yeah.
like the freshman though that just started smoking with the conspiracy theories and shit. But he's great. I love Joe Rogan.
That pop-up makes me jealous as fuck.
And you got
Dude,
Elon.
imagine how much that costed.
Yeah,
Dude.
for real. That's
Dude.
custom made too.
They're really in there fucking designing that and shit. That's wild.
Those chairs go crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Jamie sitting though? Oh, dude, he got his little setup in the back, right? Damn. 4
Yeah,
monitors
probably.
and shit. Dude.
Be more distance than usual.
Hey, first star I vote, Alex Jones. No.
Hey,
Dude, he needs to come back though. That shit's always entertaining as fuck.
Alex Jones and Elon Musk are the best fucking guests on Joe Rogan.
Hell yeah.
You got him to
Oh, yeah.
blow some kush right on.
You should.
You guys avid Joe Rogan watchers or?
I used to be heavy when I was playing video games a lot. I would
Mm.
literally just like listen to hours and hours of Joe Rogan.
Hell
But
yeah.
now my listen is fucking. Dude, I don't even watch YouTube really anymore. My shit's moving fast as fuck. It's weird. But
I feel that.
you definitely start losing yourself to it when you're living that fast. But you gotta find a balance in between living fast and being able to like take self-care days and shit where you just focus on your mind.
It's definitely true. All right. Well, we basically already started, but we're here at the McAllister Hours. I'm your host, as always, Cole McAllister. And we are joined today by LoveUnity
Yeah.
and Contra.
Yeah,
Both
sure.
local artists here in the Des Moines industry. Des Moines, you guys do music, right?
CEO, you know it's not. But,
Well, you do like production.
dude, I pretty much do everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting better with the production and shit. I wouldn't say like my producing and shit, like beat making and that kind of shit is like to a point where I'm proud of it yet. But I work with a bunch of crazy producers who really like have been teaching me a lot. Especially like a lot of the Japanese artists, they've been killing it on making the sound packs and shit. Like, sounds nothing like anything coming out of here because it's not made from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You definitely have a interesting music genre per se.
Dude, yeah.
I haven't really heard. It's been a while since I've heard music like that.
Oh, Digipop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess, like, I got tired of sounding like everybody in Des Moines, in my opinion, sounds pretty similar, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do something that nobody's done before here, especially here. Like, I didn't really, when I was like 14, 15, I focused on the Des Moines scene heavy under a name Mist, and then, like, I got pretty popular. I was like 1.5K on SoundCloud or some shit, like, the followers, and then it's just like, I feel like Des Moines gets stuck, like, you get stuck here heavy as fuck, like, there's a reason it's called Dead Moines, you know what I mean? Like, you can only really get so far here until you realize you gotta either, like, start over and start something that nobody's done, or, like, branch out and get other places.
That's a good point. So how'd you guys get your names? What's your origin for?
Well, I've had a bunch of different names, honestly. I went by fucking, my first rap name was Little Smartphone, and I was making like diss tracks on people in high school and shit. And like apparently,
Little smartphone.
but apparently I got like busting at ISU or something, right? And they were like playing my diss tracks at parties and shit. And then I like everyone obviously under the name Little Smartphone and shit. It's a joke, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, I want to take this music shit serious because that's when I found out how much I love music. And I started going by Mist, and then like switched up the name a couple times from there. I went by Como Rebi for a minute, which means the sun that shines in between the leaves of the trees in Japanese. And that was more like branching out because the Mist page, right, was heavy focused on Des Moines. And that's when like once I got away from that page, I realized like how dead Des Moines was in like the music scene. Like yeah, there's definitely some dope shit going on here and there's a future, but it's growing too slow and it's not really anything different that I want. You know what I mean? Like if I'm really gonna make it out of here, I got to do something that nobody from here is doing. You know what I mean? But then like I started going by LoveUnity. I had Ego Death on Acid and got very spiritual.
Oh, damn.
Like, I feel like 2020 with all the Black Lives Matter movement and really everything going on this year, unity is like the biggest part of it. And like I feel like you got to combine both the good and the bad to get where you want to be and get out of here. You know what I mean?
Interesting. So you've embodied all that into your name essentially.
For sure.
Contra, what about you? What goes into your name?
My name didn't really spawn from too much. I really liked the video game Contra, retro game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or seen it.
No, I'm not
really
familiar.
Fun little 2D scroll game.
Oh, okay.
A lot of childhood memories.
Hell yeah, that kind of stuff my shit. Fallout 2, you guys ever heard of that?
Hey, all right. So I fucking look. You know Diablo 1.
Yeah, I know that kind of stuff.
Dude,
yeah.
I just started. I torrented all 3 of the fucking Diablo games. You know what I mean?
Hell
Waiting
yeah.
because Diablo 4 is coming out. That shit's gonna be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dude, yeah, it's supposed to come out in January or some shit. But I started playing I used to play Fallout 2. And then I got really into Fallout 3, Fallout 4, all that shit. But Diablo 1 and 2 reminded me heavy of fucking Fallout 1 and 2.
Hell yeah. New Vegas is probably my favorite, hands down.
Yeah, I haven't been into games for a minute, but just like you were mentioning the Joe Rogan stuff, I used to just heavy play games all day, every day. That was the thing I thought about after school. That was what I gave my time and my energy to, you know what I'm saying?
So you guys would game and listen to podcasts at the same time?
Dude,
Damn.
Honestly,
You can multitask
from the rip, it started off as creepypasta stories. Like, dude, I was serious about them bitches. From like 8 years, no, I would say like 7. When the time I really got into video games, because I was sitting and play like Borderlands 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
No, Borderlands 2. It was before Borderlands 3 even came out. Borderlands 2 was my shit, bud. I would literally sit there for like fucking 10 hours, 12 hours a day, like creepypastas playing and shit. And I started getting into the podcast. I really fucked with Joe Rogan heavy because how different it is. Like every different show is a different guest and that kind of shit. It's heat.
Well, I mean, I know this is kind of stereotypical, but he's been a huge inspiration for what I've kind of done. I've definitely tried to kind of emulate that same kind of vibe where I'm like,
For sure.
trying to have variety of different guests, variety of different people, you know.
But you definitely bring that laid back energy. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
thank you.
It's not too uptight. You can just be chilling here, just like his shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel too much like an interview, but it feels like it's a mix between like an interview and a podcast type shit. Because there is definitely like question set, but it's also like free form. You know what I mean? I fuck with that. Heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely non-biased. It's relaxing.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's kind of been a strength of what I've been trying to do in the show. I've had criticism from some people saying that I should like try to like gear people more and like, you know, I don't know, that's not really my kind of. I mean, I do try to do that in some aspect, but I don't try to be a dick. I'm not Howard Stern or anything like that. You know what I mean? What's your guys' background? Are you guys from Des Moines?
Yeah, I was born and raised here. But like I've been around a little bit and shit, but Des Moines always been like where I've lived at and shit. I lived in Illinois for like a summer and shit, but that wasn't the move.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I grew up here, raised here. I've branched pretty much all over out of Iowa, and it's pretty boring here, honestly. But there's a lot of pluses, you know, good to raise kids, cheap living, and I've traveled quite a bit too. Want to keep traveling.
Definitely feels. I know it's like dead set in the middle of the shit. It's like a unity of everything, honestly. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of everything here. The diversity is crazy here. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, growing up in small town Iowa, Northwest area, that's the thing I've always appreciated about Des Moines, is like the level of diversity. In my town, in my high school, there was one black kid in my entire high school, and he was adopted. He had white parents. So, I mean, that was the kind of environment that I was used to growing up in. So, I mean, you know, not that
When
obviously.
did you move to Des Moines?
It would have been probably 6 years ago. Been here for the most part, a little bit on and off. I was in South Dakota for a little bit here and there, but Yeah, about 2000. I think 2014. Yeah, that would have been the year I moved here initially. How old are you guys?
I am I just turned 17. My birthday
Damn.
was August 18th.
And then I'm 21.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
So you guys are doing all this pretty young.
Dude, I've been on the music shit since I was 14. That's when I really 14 was when I got into the little smartphone shit, and then 15 was when I really started taking shit serious. So I guess in 2 years of taking shit serious, I've gotten pretty far. But I don't know, I got it doesn't even feel like I'm that far yet because I got a lot bigger dreams. Des Moines isn't Des Moines is cool. It's always gonna be home and shit, but it's small scale. I'm trying to get so much bigger than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was saying, it's definitely a dead end. You can kind of just see who's
Sorry, you want to try to put the microphone up a little closer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's definitely a dead end. I feel like you kind of see how big you can get. You see the potential out of here, and then a lot of people don't spread the love that should be spread here.
Dude, that's the biggest point. Everybody here, they see somebody start doing well or some shit, and then they're like, "Nah, I'm gonna drag them down," because I feel like a lot of people here are sad as fuck. People are broke, people aren't making money, people aren't happy living the life that they want to, and then they see somebody doing what they want to or making it out of here, you know what I mean? And they're like, shit, I'm not making it out of here. I guess I'm gonna try to drag them down so they don't get out of here either. And that shit's whack.
Yeah, that's the problem I've kind of noticed with the one problem I've kind of noticed with this area. I think it's really easy for drama to rise up and
because there's not shit going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Everybody dude, high school drama, that's wild. I guess I when the COVID shit started happening, I was already going to do online school anyways, so, I don't know, I feel very disconnected with, people my age for sure. That's why I don't really hang out with people my age. The drama shit's weird as fuck. People just want that shit just to have something to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, everything, with that and social media, I've never really got a lot of people my age either, so I can definitely relate to that. What about you guys' influences, in your music? Molly, what was it you kind of described his music as the other day? We were listening to it. It was that kind of the early 2000s.
2000 scene kid stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
Dude, yeah. I would say a lot of my early influence and shit was Eminem. First ever music I ever knew the name of was this fucking DJ Hero.
Every white teenager ever.
Hey, for real.
True. Especially in the Midwest, everybody loves Eminem.
I heard this fucking DJ Hero on the Xbox 360, right? They had this remix of fucking Eminem's Not Afraid and then Lil Wayne Lollipop and shit. And so I would literally I didn't know how to use YouTube or nothing at the time. So I had my older cousin, she would put me on a playlist of all of Eminem's YouTube music videos and shit, and I would literally, just listen to that shit all night and, geek out over Eminem. And then, I would say Eminem's definitely, my early influence and shit, but then it got a lot more into, I'm guessing you know what Lil Peep and shit is.
Yeah, we were just watching his video with Kanye before you guys got here. Such a fucking Love It or whatever.
No, that's Lil Pump.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Same thing,
Yeah,
right? Shit, I'm sorry. Who would you say?
Lil Peep. He's
Lil Peep. Okay,
fucking
close.
It's a lot.
Tattoo emo.
Yeah, it's fucking. He was in 2017. He overdosed off of some fake Xanax.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he passed away. A minute
Oh,
ago.
this guy.
He out. Yeah.
Oh, I heard about him.
You've seen his
Hey,
face, too.
rest in peace, Peep. But he was definitely he was the introduction in the little scene that I got into. I was fucking with Peep really heavy in 2016 before he passed, and then I started getting deep into Peep, and there's a whole scene Peep was definitely the biggest because he fucking died. You know what I mean? Same shit happened with the homie PV Skill. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I fuck with a lot of artists who fuck with PV Skill. They were creating an entire wave. Just like Peep did when an artist dies, it brings so much light to a little scene. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess Peep was a heavy influence, and I got into a lot of the subculture on there. A lot more. I guess it was an artist called Shinigami. He made some shit called Lullaby Trap, which was more my sound, but the digital kind of sound, but more mellow, like a lullaby. You know what I mean? And I got there's just a bunch of different artists in that little Peep type of scene that are all connected and shit and work together that I really started fucking with. And it was wild. I got a homie named Young Van who I literally used to listen to him when I was 12 years old and shit, and now I'm making music with him. He has 300K monthly listeners on Spotify. That shit's wild. To actually go from in 2 years making music to working with somebody who I used to look up to. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, in that span, that's quite a journey. What about you? What are some of your influences in the?
Like he was saying, and like I said about every white teenager, I think everybody really gets into Eminem.
Hell yeah.
When they do discover rap, I was raised on grunge and like more of a rockish type music.
Fuck yeah,
classic
fuck
rock. So I can appreciate a lot of music. Definitely started with Eminem, like I said, and then branched out to like I'm trying to think of the time frame. Soulja Boy was hot at the time.
Soulja Boy.
Let's see.
Big Draco.
Lil Wayne, Big Drake.
Dude.
Out here making game consoles.
Drake?
And then when I was young, I was just getting into video games. I came across Logic in some phase.
Oh, fuck yeah. Logic's the shit.
And I got into him when he was kind of like not really big, and then he got big, and he's still alright, you know what I'm saying? He's just, you can tell all his inspirations, and he's just, I feel like he needs to be more of his own person, but he's doing his own thing. He made his money. He has a family or whatever. But as he got bigger, I just kind of branched away from it. And then Jimmy Wapo, if you know who that is, he passed away as well.
He died the same day as X. He got murked the same day as X. That's wild.
Wait, the same day as Triple X Tencon?
Yeah, Tencon.
Or
Triple X Tencon.
Dude, I'm not.
Hey. Same day X got shot, he got killed. He was an Aquarius. That's wild. Like, Aquariuses are definitely special. He's an Aquarius. I'm a Leo. They're alright.
Damn.
But yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say it's fucking. Hey, it's wild. They got shot the same day as X. You know what I mean? Like, if you die in the same day as X.
Nobody heard about it.
Yeah, for real.
Jimmy Wapo.
Like, Jimmy Wapo, he was different.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens. Like Farrah Fawcett dying the same day as MJ, and what was it? The Fishers, Carrie Fisher died, and then her mom died, or vice versa.
Death in general is just
a
weird topic or weird understanding, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, we could probably talk about the the catechisms of death for a hot minute.
Definitely stray off the subject. It's real off topic, real quick. Molly, have you had those frappuccinos frozen?
Oh, dude, you put them bitches in the fridge or the freezer?
That's why they're not like cold cappuccinos, they're frappuccinos. A cashier just told me that. And I'm like, what? I froze it? That thing was way better. 5 times better.
Ridiculous.
You gotta try it sometime.
Absolutely
damn.
Ridiculous.
Coffee's delicious. I love coffee, love nicotine. Definitely
Hey, I can get behind some nicotine, but that's a little bit.
Yeah, I quit smoking, thank God.
Fuck cigarettes, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck cigarettes. No.
I still kind of miss it
more
sometimes.
Addicting than any fucking hard drug I've done. Honestly, like, cigarettes are ridiculous, dude.
Interesting.
I've done a lot of drugs, and never once have I woke up and been like, damn, I want some cocaine more than I've wanted a cigarette, dude. Like, cigarettes are fucking, dude, it's straight heroin. Like, it's straight heroin. Like,
straight heroin.
I can't fuck with it.
Damn. So, what do you guys like? What do you guys do? How do you guys interact? What's everything? What do you guys, in terms of like music and what you guys do? How do you guys associate?
I would definitely say that's my best friend. You know what I mean? We've been through a lot and shit.
It took way longer for me to say that than shit.
Sorry. I was like, what do we do? We just vibe out. We just spread love in this bitch.
Chill.
We just try and make the place better. Try to make ourselves better, obviously.
I've definitely made a lot of mistakes, but like, I'm trying to better myself, you know what I mean? Better that are around me and shit. That's all you really can do to make a difference. Like,
this is true. So like, you have like quite an internet presence. You have quite a few plays on the cloud and all that. What advice or like what's your technique to like getting to that point?
Well, shit. Honestly, off the rip, it started off as fucking like Minecraft, dog. Honestly, Minecraft. Like, I learned how to.
He said Minecraft brought me on my plays. Shout out Minecraft.
Shout out that man Minecraft. But no, here's the thing. Fucking, I was making money on Minecraft, like running these little servers and shit. And so I guess that really taught me how to like interact with people. And like, I wasn't fucking with like in that scene. Like, there's a lot of money in that scene. I'm not talking like millions. Well, there probably is millions, but like I would say I could make like an easy fucking couple bands off of a server release, and we would do that every month type shit. So like, you really get like, when you're making money and when it's actually not like a little kid shit, you learn how to carry yourself better, carry yourself professionally, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go into a Skype call and like acting like a rowdy little kid when you're talking about a couple $1,000s. Like, that's retarded. But I guess Minecraft really did teach me like how to act right and shit. But then I started drop shipping heavy. Like, I was running, not in my name, but I was running a little conglomerate company of drop shipping sites, and we were selling like fake designer clothes and shit. I can't speak on it too much, but but yeah, so I guess like really just being like I had a very big I would say I've had a couple mentors and shit. One was really big in the music scene, my homie Star in the Sky, who really like he taught me how to carry myself in like a very respectable manner and like be the bigger person and shit. Like the most valuable lesson he taught me was about making my bridges strong. Like you build a bridge weak as shit, that bridge is gonna collapse whenever it gets some weight on it. You know what I mean? You wanna like throw the dude 100 for the feature instead of trying to get him down to 80 for the feature, and then boom, when some shit happens, when you get into some beef, he's probably gonna have your back rather than you trying to like scam him out of a little $20. Like building your bridges strong is the most important thing in the music industry, because everybody here want to be on some bullshit, and when you show somebody some actual love, like it's different. You know what I mean?
Way too much cloud chasing in this city. That's another thing. People will do the most just to get their name in your mouth, and I don't understand that either. Like that's not the right. That's short-term attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the game.
I agree with a lot of how people move here, but.
No, that's a good point. I definitely see what you're saying. Like acting like you're on LA. I can't talk today. In LA or New York or something, you know, where that kind of thing actually gains traction. It's kind of, you know, and not that you can't do that here, but I think there's
just a dead end. You can do that here, but what are you gonna get out of it? You might get a couple. You might get a couple thousand plays out of a diss track, but you're not getting no 20K off a diss track. You know what I mean? Like nothing. No song here in Des Moines that's focused on Des Moines is ever hitting over 10K. That's all I'm saying. And nobody here is doing it other than me. I'm the only, like, people, yeah, they might, over fucking 3 years of their song being out, hit 15K. But, dude, I'll drop a song in 4 months and that bitch is at 12K. Like, nobody here is doing that shit. So that's why I know my shit's, like, that's why I'm not focused on here. You know what I mean? My shit's already past here. Like, I wouldn't say it's past here or whatever. I still got shit I can gain from fucking with people in Des Moines. There's a lot of shit to learn here. But here is not what's going to make me big. Here's not what's going to reach my dreams. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I guess on that note, like, who have you collabed with here in Des Moines?
I fuck with Baby Bar heavy. I fuck with Shrimp heavy, 666 Shrimp.
Definitely some of the most talented here.
For sure.
Okay.
I like Shaky Sean. There's just a couple people who I can see a lot of potential in, but yeah, they have to understand that if they're not taking care of themselves and what they're doing, that they're going to stay here. They're not going to do anything, you know what I mean? So they just got to keep an open mind, and that's the beautiful part about artists with open minds is that you can share perspectives with them, and they don't think you're over-criticizing them or you're talking shit to them, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. You got to be able to take criticism in the music industry. Like,
That's true. Definitely.
Dude.
There are no safe spaces in hip-hop, at least. You know?
Can't get your feelings hurt by shit. Like,
Yeah.
your music, honestly, your music's probably trash. And when they tell you it's trash, like, people can be a dick about it and just be like, your music's ass. And then there's people who are going to be like, well, this is what I think's wrong with it. This is what you can improve. Those are the people that are actually going to help you. You know what I mean? People here don't understand that, like, just saying that your music's bad and being like, that's feedback, that's not going to help nobody out. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
I would say I fuck with, there's a couple other Des Moines artists I fuck with heavy. I fuck with Cosmo. Him and his girl Cece are really killing shit. Like Cece and Maddie Baby are definitely like the two best female artists I've seen in Des Moines. They got a lot of potential and shit. There's definitely people here who got potential, but I just feel like people's drive's a little off, and it's just like when you're living out here. You know what I mean? You're not just being a rapper. It's you really got to grind and shit. So it's not like you got $1 million to just go fuck off and be a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? Shit's still a struggle, especially in Des Moines. You know what I mean? And I feel like people get caught in the struggle rather than focus on what's really going to help them.
Interesting. So I guess kind of on your point, like how do you think we can, I say we as in people, Des Moines and artists and all that, how do you think we can, break through, I guess?
I guess when you look at it in the bigger picture, like look at some of the groups that come out of like Florida, or look at the artists, look at the groups that group up together, and then they come out as a group. You know what I'm saying?
Collective.
It's just about containing your energy as a group, and then you're gonna have a stronger fucking output. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have more of an influence, and then you're gonna have the criticism you need to hear.
Exactly.
If there's 3 people in the room, they might all have 3 different opinions on how I'm saying something, how I'm doing something. That's why I try not to be like, hey, I don't like how this sounds, but I think it would be cool if it sounded like this way. I think you should try this. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just way too many people who get all butthurt about the way they're doing stuff because they either have too big of an ego and they think they're above everybody else here, which we're really not. This is Iowa. You know what I'm saying? You ever talk to somebody on Xbox? Oh yeah, I'm from Iowa.
Where the fuck?
I mean, that's a state. You know
Idaho?
Are you still fighting off the Native Americans?
I feel like that ties in with yes men. Like people are so scared to hurt somebody's feelings, especially like say a dude got a little 5K plays or some shit. Like dude who got 100 plays, he doesn't want to tell dude with 5K that his shit's not good or give him criticism. So he's just gonna be like, yeah, your shit bangs. Like yes men are the downfall of hip hop because everybody's scared to give how they really feel or hurt somebody's feelings. But like something I live by is that sometimes you gotta hurt people's feelings to make them understand how shit is. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
That's kind of the nature of the game. I mean, although I know your genre is a little different than hip hop. I mean, we're all kind of in the same field.
It is
so.
the music industry. It's all the same.
Yeah, exactly. The competition is the
people
same.
In this shit are even worse, dog.
Let me get this work.
People in like hip hop or whatever are just gonna. Everybody wants to be the hardest. It's whoever lies the best. And this little shit, everybody's about their feelings. Like everybody's a little pussy in this scene. I'm so serious. Like
little gnat flying around.
Yeah, I know.
When I first started getting known in the scene and shit, everybody started hating me because everybody loves to pay for features and shit. And then like they'll go and pay for these features. Like Young Van, biggest example. When the way I first got connected with him was I had a homie. Well, he's not really a homie anymore. Got a little jealous and shit, but he was paying for features for Young Van, right? So I was like, fuck. I just hit up Young Van and I told him how much I fucked with his shit, and like I've been fucking with him since I was like 12, and it's dope like to see my homies working with him and shit. We got on some homie shit, and like I literally just started working with him. Like I've only ever paid for one feature in my life, and that was an $80 feature just because I was trying to like get a connect with him. And that was literally like a month ago. Like all of my music up until now and shit, I've never really put any money into like promotion or anything. So like people started getting really jealous because everybody in the scene. Nobody's like 17. You know what I mean? People are like 20, 21, 22, like really with jobs and shit, like really putting money into their shit.
Yep.
And you see somebody who's not putting money into it, who's getting the same features that they're getting more plays than them. So that's where the jealousy starts. Everybody wants to like, especially with this scene, everybody's like, they're going to talk shit about you in their little collectives and then act friendly as fuck with you in your face. Like, it's wild as shit how fake people are in this scene. It's honestly disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of two-facedness and, you know, like any kind of entertainment industry, I think.
With, jealousy and envy I've never really understood. Like, when you get the feeling of jealous, is it something that somebody has that you want? You know what I'm saying? Or what stops you from being not better and then gets you to ask, hey, how'd you get there? I'm a fan of what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Can you help me? Can you give me some tips? You know what I'm saying?
There's a difference
How many
between
people
being a
have
fan and being a hater.
approached you in that manner?
You gotta self-diagnose why you're jealous. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta figure out what about it makes you want that shit and what you don't have, rather than just being like, fuck them. I don't want them to have it. You gotta figure out why you don't want them to have it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to hate people, but like, what do you really get out of that other than being fucking mad all the time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely a lot easier to hate than to love. I think that is
love always wins.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you win. Hate loses.
Love is harder.
Yes.
And I think it ties in with like instant gratification. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody wants shit to happen overnight. I have so many rappers who come into the studio, not rappers, right? You know what I mean? I have so many little like kids who come into the studio and just like think I'm gonna drop one song, right? And that bitch is gonna fucking set me up for my entire future.
Yeah,
like, this is an investment. This is an investment. I'm paying $20 for the studio time, and I'm paying for college. Like, I literally had a dude when I was 15 come in there, and I was talking to him about the shit, and he was like, well, honestly, with music, dude, I'm just doing this to blow up. Like, I got paid for college. And I'm like, I'm hoping by the time, like, 8 months when I go to college, I'll be able to pay for it with the music. I'm like, jeez, dude.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough.
Full ride from the music.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, and that's like their plan A, and like that's it. They have nothing else. Nothing else.
That shit.
So, not to like compete or get too personal, but I am curious. You saying you're 17? You're like in school or like what?
I do online school.
Okay.
I'm a senior this year, but I would say I definitely know I gotta get I gotta graduate from high school and shit. You know what I mean? But I'm not really.
That is important.
I'm not focused on college or anything after that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm slacking on the school shit, I'm taking it slow, but like, I think I got shit that's gonna be a lot more beneficial to my future than the last year of high school. Like, I'm not behind on I'm like half credit behind on my science or some shit, so I'm not like failing every class or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I can drag this last year out over like a year and a half or some shit and really focus on what I got to. So like, this is the most important time in my life, I feel like, right now, when I'm actually like making the decisions that are going to set me up for my future. And I don't think, especially with not having like college isn't my plan or anything like that, I don't think school's like what's going to help me in life.
No, I feel that. I'm in college now, but I've like resisted it for so long.
What do you go for if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in right now. I'm in video production. Yeah. So that it's something I've always looked at for a while. I was in computer programming initially, and that was just like way too much for me to fucking handle. Like it was just so much work for the most like menial fucking shit. Be like, God damn it, I have to figure out this little fucking thing. Like it takes.
That's how you get a good ass job, is like a little IT guy for a fucking
corporation. And
yeah.
You just don't do anything. You fucking like
throw like what's it called, Microsoft Office on computers and shit. That's your job. Like,
yeah. That's true.
But I definitely think that
industry is popping as fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The technology industry, Silicon Valley, is where all the fucking jobs are right now. Unless you're doing something like that with your fucking college education or being a doctor or some shit, you're not getting a job. You're not doing shit with it.
True. I don't know. I kind of just felt like I was selling my soul in the way if I like was getting into computers. Like
you're running in the rat race and you're choosing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, college is just a really hard subject because you never know if you're gonna get that degree and then get your job. You're still in the same boat. It's just like a diploma.
Yep.
When you have it, doesn't mean you're gonna get hired everywhere. It just gives you the little bit of an advantage. You know what I'm saying, for them to look at. And you got to know what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You're paying a lot of money for you to do that. So if you're halfway through and you're like, fuck, I don't know if I want to do that. Then fuck, that's some money. Chances are.
There was this coder on YouTube that I followed for a while, and he would always do these videos about. I cannot remember off the top of my head.
I was super into that kind of shit. I really fucked with like watching video game neural networks get made, like where they fucking make a neural network and then like have them learn a video game that they created. That neural networks are fucking insane, dog.
Interesting. But no, this guy was like, he did this video about, he did research on like different, ads for jobs, like different career paths for computer people, and like how all these people were trying to like fuck them over, like pay them like menial amounts. There were places like in Utah that were trying to pay people like close to minimum wage for like high-end computer skilled shit. Like, dude, just fucking nuts.
Fucking, like, Office Depot and shit selling computers or scams the fuck out of people, dog. They put, like, dude, they'll make, like, build a $200 computer and sell that shit for, like, $700.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, dude, I was watching this shit, like, I don't know what it is. It's some, like, little Channel 9 shit, like, somewhere out in the United States. But they were doing this, like, fucking investigation where they have, like, locksmiths
and then, like, fucking plumbers and shit come in.
And they were just taxing them. Like, they would make sure that everything's perfect except for, like,
a little leak or some shit, right? And then they would come and say, fucking,
dryer vent's busted, might have a fire. It's going to be, like, 10 bands to clean it up. Like, dude, it's fucking ridiculous how they do that shit.
Damn.
No, there'll always be some money though in online stuff, cell phones, cars, stuff that's always gonna be here with us. That's definitely what I would use my money towards college for, or like I've gotten into like cybersecurity shit. Like, like that interests me. Just the criminal side of things. If that doesn't sound too fucked up, but on the good side, I guess. But just to have the knowledge for the bad side.
For sure.
But you're still sitting on the good side, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. You want to like run the route. Per se,
want to learn some shit. Want to learn, just anything. Online shit just has a lot of knowledge there. It's an infinite place. It's a new web. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a whole dimension.
Exactly. Like, it's kind of getting deep, but like with social media, like how it's programming us. Like it's good for people to understand that kind of stuff.
Facebook life theory, like people constantly, like that's the root of a lot of depression and kids.
Hell yeah.
Where like they constantly
the dopamine rushes to your brain. Dude, it's like a drug, literally.
Like games in general.
Dude,
screens in general. Is young kids get this instant gratification, this dopamine rush, and then that's why like when we have no nicotine, we're just like, oh, I want something, oh, nicotine, you know what I'm saying? The screen is their nicotine, games at a young age, and that's why you see more kids now on screens than you do out catching fucking snakes.
Dude, you see fucking 3-year-old kids on iPads and shit. I didn't get a phone until I was like 10, I didn't get a phone until I was like 10 years old, and it was a flip phone, dog. Like, I used to see kids in, like, elementary school with, like, the iPhone 1, and I was like, damn, what the fuck is that? Like, he brought a whole computer to school? What?
The big pet peeve of mine is when you see a kid crying in public and their parents just like, hang on, I'll get your tablet.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hang on, you're supposed to, like, figure out what the problem is. You can't just... You know what I'm saying?
You're not parenting.
The baby gets dropped when they grow out of being a baby.
And then they get
you
the
just
tablet.
hand them a fucking tablet. Yeah, how does that work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of shit's been around ever since fucking TVs and shit, though. Back in the 50s, like, parents would just put their kids in front of the TV and say, all right,
yeah, but it wasn't as easily accessible as a phone is.
You can't bring the TV out to fucking Walmart. You're right.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's, like, the root of it. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know, TV
whack as shit. But back in the day, dude, like kids were addicted to TV, like they're addicted to
Yeah.
phones and shit.
That's true.
Like I remember, I was definitely addicted to video games. I would have
Like a mental breakdown and shit when my parents would try to like down me or something.
like, all right, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill the cat. Like, dude.
One of the ones where you go in the bathroom and you're like,
I'm sure you guys know World's Greatest Freakout, right?
Oh, dude, where he puts the fucking remote up his ass?
Yeah, those are
that's-
classic.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Hey, dude, I literally, there's like 40 of them bitches, right? The kid who made
Yeah,
that,
well,
dude,
they
they're fake though.
yeah, they're fake as fuck. They came out with that.
But look,
They're
When
funny,
I was like
though.
12 years old, no idea they were fake. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, he just went at that fucking truck with a baseball bat? Like, dude.
The thing
Yeah.
about screens and technology at a young age is I feel like it keeps you distant from your parents. I feel
Yeah,
like when you
yeah.
do get over the tablet, if you ever get over the tablet or the game or whatever you're playing, that you're just not going to have the relationship you should with your parent. And I think that's really important. I think one of the two parents that are there in your life, if you have two parents, one of them needs to be your best friend or just keep an open mind because they're there for your journey. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody
Yeah.
has friends or people like I have to just bounce ideas off of and fucking ask questions. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's hard for males, especially like dads and shit, to show emotion. You know what I mean? Like they express it down. A lot of the times dads just do that. Or like the only way they know how to show their emotion is like anger or something. So like the sadness or whatever they're feeling builds up, and the only way they know how to take it out is because of anger. Probably stems from like their parents treating them like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, gender roles in society are fucked in general, honestly.
Definitely older age, I feel like guys were, it's one of those, hey, there's no crying in baseball type shit. You know what I mean? Stiffen up your upper lip and get on with it. You know what I mean?
The toxic masculinity.
Dude, it was wild. I had a best friend, like, growing up. I only had, like, up until the time I was, like, 13, 14. I never went to anybody's house or anything. Like, I literally had one friend who I grew up with, like, next door. And, like, he grew up, like, the baseball dad kind of shit. And then, like, I grew up with the parents, like, open-minded, I guess, type shit. And it's wild how, like, strict and shit. Like, they literally, like, the parents are, like, making the kid live through them. Like, all the shit that the parent couldn't be type shit. They're trying to make the kid be perfect. Like, that shit really fucks with kids' heads.
Yeah.
Especially, like, females and shit. Like, with females, like, that's how girls wild out. Like, the dad too overprotective or something, and as soon as they fucking get out of, or as soon as they get out of the house or some shit, they're a big whore. Like, that shit's wild. But that's really how it
Damn,
happens. Same
yeah.
shit with guys, though. Like, the dad's super strict on them, like, fucking A+, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta play football, you gotta do all this shit. Kid goes to college, and now he's doing heroin, you know what I mean? Like, he's wilding out a little too hard.
It's definitely something you have to hit as a young age, in my opinion, because you can fuck up when you're young. You know what I'm saying? From legal charges,
Yeah.
they all get wiped. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're out here like murdering people, you might go away and get charged as an adult if you're fucking 12. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, you kind of have the midlife crisis. I feel like more than you should. If you go through hella shit when you're young, then you don't have to go through it when you get older. Yeah, the strict hold that people try to hold on their kids, those are the first kids to sneak out of the house. Those are the first kids to go smoke a blunt. Those are the first kids to go do the shit for that adrenaline rush and that freedom that to break out the leash.
There's also the opposite, though, where, like, especially you see that a lot in the little gang scene, like, kids who, the parents, all they know is, like, trap. All they know is be a gangbanger, so then the kid grows up just wanting to be that, you know what I mean? Like, the kid's either going to wild out. You got to find a good balance in between showing the kids that there is bad in the world and not hiding everything from them, but not, like, putting it in front of their face and being like, this is the world, you know what I mean? Because it's yin yang, you know what I mean? That's the rules here. There's balance. There's always good and the bad, and there's always bad and the good. But, like, I have a little homie, his name's Tio, who he was deep in the gang shit, you know what I mean? At 15 years old, he got 3 attempted murder charges, and, like, literally a week before that, I had him in the studio, and I was like, he was Asian, and I was literally, like, he was saying his ears hurt and shit, right? And so I was like, he had no idea how to clean his ears, dog. You know what I mean? Like, his parents literally were not there type shit.
Oh, damn.
To see, like, I was teaching this 15-year-old kid how to clean his ears, and then, like, a week later, he's fucking arrested for catching 3 bodies. Like, that shit's fucking crazy, especially in Des Moines. Like,
Damn, yeah, especially in Des Moines.
Bro, I don't know. It's everywhere, though. Like, it's bad parent. There are no bad kids, dog.
There's only bad parents, and then bad parents make
more bad parents. You know what I mean? It's
Great
never.
example is pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? I've seen
For
a lot
sure.
of lovely-ass pit bulls, but hey, you throw a pit bull in the wrong place, let it get smacked around a few times, that pit bull is going to bite the fuck out of some kids when it gets older. You know what I'm saying? But
That's true.
I 100% believe that fucking there's definitely more dangerous breeds than pit bulls, and that pit bulls are a cool-ass dog if they're in the right home as a puppy. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to save a pit bull a lot of the times, but Yeah, man. Kids, you can't create something and then not blame yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's the parents' fault 100%.
It's never the kids. I mean, it can be the kid's gonna make wrong decisions, but you got to teach the kid what a bad decision is. You know what I mean? If the parent just sets it out there,
Yeah, exactly.
right,
You gotta
there's
teach 'em-
extremes to both sides of it. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
find a balance.
You gotta teach them why they're doing what they're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely relate to that personally, growing up in a very strict environment. So all that you said like totally rings true. Like I'm very like anti-censorship.
Mm-hmm.
I like always have been. Like I think it's
Freedom of expression is huge.
yeah. Like I would argue it's like kids in like society in general is better off seeing like sexualized images over like violent images. Like the violent images is like I think in my
What's your
opinion.
opinion on video games? Violent video games for, let's say, about age 12 to about 16.
Well, shit, dude. Now it's not even that. Now, like my little cousin, like it was wild. I was literally seeing it. Like I used to be deep in the video games. So I didn't get into the video games till I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Kid's like 5 years old, and he's like Fortnite. I'm like, damn, dude. It's wild, dog. Like,
There's not a lot of violence in there.
but here's the thing.
I don't
Hey,
think
he's
there's
not
blood.
just playing Fortnite though. He's playing Modern Warfare. He's
Hey,
playing all
when he
this
turns
shit.
6, Grand Theft Auto.
That's what I'm saying. Hey,
You know what
but
I'm
like
saying?
I definitely feel like that shit can desensitize you, but it's the parent's job to come in and be like, this is a video game. You know what I mean? You can't go and kill a hooker like you can in GTA. But
Yeah, I think people in general can like dissociate from Well, the thing that scares me is the VR.
oh,
That's
dude,
where it gets a little dicey
That's
for me.
another dimension, just like
Yeah,
the internet.
exactly.
I think video games in general.
Now, oh, you do think so? Okay, interesting. I tend to think not. Like, I think if it's just like the kid
I
on
think it
looking at
depends
a box playing
it
on
depends
controller,
on the person a lot.
and that's true
somebody
too.
with mental illness, somebody in a bad home life or some shit, where all they know is the video game and that's like their entire life. That's their escape and shit. It might fucking translate that into real life. Like, oh shit, my escape was fucking in the video game. I really like shooting people. So fuck, I'm tired of this life. I'm just gonna go play like a video game and shoot some people. Like that's how a lot of the mass shooters and shit really do get started. I feel like. Like I was watching this little crime documentary about this kid and his brother who literally like planned the shit out like they were going on a video game and shit. Like they planned it out like they were gonna they murked their family, right? And then they were gonna go to their school and shoot it up and shit. And then they were just gonna go on a crime spree up the fucking like up the entire country and shit. And like just be murking people the whole way there. And like it was heavy inspired by video games for
He was
sure.
trying to get 6 stars. You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
dude, literally,
Oh my
he
God.
wasn't settling. He wasn't settling for 5. But like, I think a lot of it is like they look at it like they're beating a record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Columbine set the
Yeah,
fucking
that's
record.
true. That's
And
true.
so like, because I'm deep into like fucking criminal psychology and that kind of shit. Like I love watching
Oh.
like interrogations and shit, dude. You watch like an interrogation and you study how like the fucking prosecutor or the interrogator is trying to like use psychology against them and like smart ass criminals like they do a bench through the shit a couple times, dude.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fucking beautiful to watch. But like I feel like a lot of the kids like just get sucked in the video games and that's their only escape, and so they think they gotta translate that into real life, or like it's like a leaderboard. Like whoever kills the most people, that you're gonna be famous, you're gonna get your name known, you're gonna be a nobody. You're like your life's not worth shit. You're in a bad home life or something. You know what I mean? So like you're gonna make your name in the streets. You're gonna go sell a bunch of drugs. You're gonna go fucking shoot up the most people. You know what I mean? Like it all stems from bad parents. Like I think
I agree with that, and yeah, not so much of its own dimension or its own world for video games, but I think it is just as bad, or if not worse, as using a drug. You know, running to a video game to just kind of the whole get off work. I don't really feel like cooking today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I wanna play
that's true.
this. Like personally, my experience is like I used to be into like games that snatched me was Call of Duty, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2. I literally turned down.
Those are fun.
I turned down a helicopter ride to play zombies, and it was like an old ass zombie map. It was just with a really good friend that I have in Canada. He's still a really good friend of mine, but I skipped out on a helicopter ride so I could play a game of zombies on a map that I've played fucking 400 times. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I feel that. I mean, I guess I see what you're saying, but it's kind of like the argument of drugs. Like, that's not like the drug's fault, you know?
For
like,
sure, it's how you use it. You know what I'm saying? I think all drugs are just another perspective of shit.
I think it's
But-
society's fault. I don't think it's ever like the specific a factor, and it's not the drugs' fault. It's not the video games' fault. It's
Yeah.
what they do to the people. It's what society
That'd
does
be
to
like
them.
saying it's food's fault that we're fat.
It
No,
did.
you know,
It's society's fault. It's not
society's
no.
fault.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I said.
yeah.
Backed it up.
Yeah, I said it was
there's
society's
going to be cupcakes and then there's going to be oranges if you want to eat.
But it's
two
society's
oranges.
fault for putting a fucking McDonald's and a Burger King on every block and making that the cheapest form of living. You know
And
what I mean?
movies that make cocaine look like it's the shit, or you know, stoner
For sure.
movies that make glorify everything out there. You know what I'm saying? That's how people are like, oh, this is normalized. This is society telling me that this is okay and this is how this should be used.
I think weed's a wild ass example of how shit can shift. Like we literally went from like the stoner like fucking back. What is the weird ass weed movie like in the 50s that came out? It was
Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness.
Oh, that is
bro.
my shit.
How'd they go from Reefer Madness to like being in Colorado? Hey, literally every fucking it's worse. You think McDonald's are around a lot, dude? You go to Colorado and it's literally a fucking dispensary every 2 buildings. Like, how does it go from Reefer Madness to that just because society says it's okay
Damn.
now? You know what I mean? The drug ain't changed one bit. It's society said, all right, this is cool now. If society were to be like, all right, fast food, not cool anymore, guess what? A lot of people not going to be as fat. That was what I was trying to say. I fucking went up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like the really high potency of marijuana these days.
That's actually when he was just saying that. I do think it's changed. You know, I guess our parents' stories they're always like, oh, we had this brickweed and then we had this really fire, Afghani. But it's like now
Their fire is like nothing
mean,
compared to
the
now
drugs
with
are gonna
these
change,
sparkles we
but
have, I just feel like
it's not that the society's saying that it's okay now is what made the weed change. You know what I mean?
right, but they definitely took it more into consideration and manipulated the plant itself, or just they had more time and it was legal to play with it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
definitely think it got stronger or definitely different or mutated at one point in time.
Yeah, like if I ever get like really primo shit from my guy these days, like I can't handle it. Like there was one time that was all
that's
I.
the stuff I literally spark a blunt of, and I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
But spark a blunt, hit the thing twice, 3 times, and put that shit out, because then you're feeling what you need to feel, and then you're not just gonna take a nap or fucking eat everything in your kitchen. And be like, damn it! I just spent 50 on this fucking 3.5 because it's
Rolled it all up.
some primo, and then I ate my entire kitchen. I just spent $50 on those 4 bags of pizza.
Hey, at least they didn't put the mitts in the runts bag. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, hey, Iowa people quit that shit.
Hey, dude, seriously though, like, all right, but if you're gonna do that, at least don't sell it to the homies. That's fucked up, dog. Like, dude, I know you gotta get your
You know
little
that's
bread
not
up.
limoncello, dog.
Like, for
Fucking
real.
oregano or whatever.
Some chives in there.
Dude,
Parsley.
I can't believe people still get stained with oregano. Like, that's some real shit. Like, in the last year, I've had like 3 different little homies say they got sold some fucking oregano in a bag.
Damn.
Dude,
Funny story, actually, real quick. So
Yeah, go for it.
I've actually pulled up to some Southside apartments. I'm not gonna mention any names or be that
Yeah.
bogus. But and I was buying some weed, and at the time I was like, yeah, I want a half. You know what I'm saying? And I go to get there, and he's like, yeah, everything's good. It's some gas. And then I look in the bag, and I'm looking at the bag, and I'm like, is there chives in here, bro? He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you're crazy if you think I'm buying this shit. And I shit you not, he goes in there, puts it in a different bag, takes the chives out of the bag, gets the bag wet, and then brings it back. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, why are you telling me a weight you don't have? Like, if you don't have a half, tell me you have a 12.8, bro. We'll make something work. You know what I'm saying?
the chives.
God damn.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
But yeah,
ridiculous.
so I didn't end up getting anything from him, and I just went home. And fucking, that was back when, that was like 2 years ago. So I mean, it was when there was some gas everywhere, and it was just cheap as shit. Like
Dude, 2 years ago
$100
was fucking ridiculous. Hey, free them C block, man. That's
The
all.
price has gone down substantially.
Innocent.
Brother,
Shit. I'm thinking we should take a really quick break.
I'm down,
Hydrate,
man,
maybe use the
for
bathroom. We can come back to it. And you want to talk about spirituality, and I
Yes, sir,
definitely
that's a
want to.
great-
That's a big dive.
Take a break, drop
Yeah.
into spirituality. I can get behind that notion.
Yes, for sure. All right,
Right.
we'll be right back.
Call him McAllister. I like,
Mr.
hey,
McAllister.
I love that.
Mr.
Hey,
McAllister.
dude, your last name is fucking perfect for a shirt.
Wait, is it McAllister?
McAllister.
Yep.
Hey, show's
So
called
isn't that like
show's called
from Home Alone?
McAllister Albers.
Yeah.
Kevin!
Yeah.
Hey, is that sage?
First time I've
Yeah,
heard
is
that.
this sage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, it doesn't smell like sage. I was like, damn.
You can burn some if you want. You can burn it.
Yeah, that's why I blocked you.
Yeah, whatever. Should've.
Are we rolling? We're
Sponsored
still
by
rolling.
Sprite. Yeah,
We all
guys,
good?
actually put you
Does
on a
anybody need his
commercial.
restroom before we start again?
I think
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
cool.
they do have to walk in front of it, huh? You guys got to pee?
I think I'm cool.
Cool. All right.
Isn't it intense? That's what it is.
That is incense. Yes.
Clean as hell.
I need to get some more of that.
Burn some incense.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you can put it on the table if you want.
Oh, dude, I could get behind. Hey, he said we're talking about spirituality. Go burn some incense, put it on the table. He's serious
There we go.
about it, bud.
Getting the vibe going.
Yeah, sure.
You can really talk about
What kind of
that.
incense is it?
Get spiritual. Oh, what kind? I'm not sure. I don't personally.
Where'd you get it at?
I don't even remember. Probably Walmart.
Hey, fuck around here. Fuck Walmart. Here's what you do. You go to one of the Asian stores. Like
Okay.
I think Double Dragon shut down or some shit. But there's like 3 different really bussin' Asian stores. Go to fucking dude. Their incense is insane. Like it's straight from China. Straight like actually the
damn.
good Asian shit.
India stuff's heat too. There's a
Ooh, that's
one called,
busted. That's
Song of
busted.
India. Song of India or Star of India. I think it's Song. It's my favorite one ever. Very clean smell.
You should bring the mic closer or some shit. You're probably far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but in
I mean, all right. We're back.
We're back.
We took a little break here, and we were about to get into spirituality.
Yes, sir.
Spirituality.
Spits out. He said, "I'm playing."
A subject
real trash star shit. You know what I mean?
something that you really want to talk about, or
Yes, sir. I would say it ties in heavy with the music shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You're not gonna get nowhere. You're not gonna get nowhere in the music shit if you're just doing people wrong, unless you're doing people really wrong. Like, if you're just, here's the thing, if you're not, like, actually, you either gotta be really good in the shit, like, you gotta be very light, or you gotta be very dark in it, or you're not gonna get anywhere in it. You know what I mean? And that's the same with, like, you can
get all the 666 posers. Look
Dude,
at all the people
for sure.
666.
hey, people really,
Do they
like,
even cast spells?
no, they're
They
not,
even
they're not
sacrifice
wasted youth,
fish.
and they don't like their reason. But here's the thing. I feel like when you're fucking, say you put like 666 in your name, not against shrimp. I really like shrimp. It's literally just as an example.
Wait, you
'cause
said Trump?
shrimp.
Oh.
You know,
No, Trump.
we can't talk about
666.
Trump.
No,
Jesus
Trump
Christ.
666.
I was like, oh, I'm
No,
intrigued.
shout
What
out
does that have to
Trump.
do?
No, yeah,
What's the connection
Hey, I
there?
fuck with that.
Hey, Trump can spit though.
Hey, dude, I got
Hey, me and him were in the stew one
I got a
night, told you
Digidash exclusive. I got fucking Pinky and Trump hopping on it. You know what I mean? We're serious about it.
Oh my god.
All
So
right.
I'm sorry, 666 shrimp?
Oh, not him
Or what?
specifically, not
What?
shrimp specifically.
Well,
Just
no,
like
he's a cool guy, but we were just talking about the whole.
When you're putting, like,
666
numbers at the end of names,
Oh.
representation, like Juice WRLD had a 999 thing going on. We have some.
999.
We
Oh,
have some
okay, I
people
see.
that do that too.
I see what you're saying.
You know, I feel like a lot of people do that kind of shit, but don't even realize what they're doing by doing it. You know what I mean? They're gonna put the 666 on there, right? And just be like, I'm edgy. You know what I mean? Whatever. But they're not really realizing they're tying their music just on some dark shit.
Kind of like guys who wear chokers, but they don't know why they're wearing the choker. They just wear them anyways.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, yeah, it'll bring me some ego thoughts.
Hey, fuck you,
I'll
bro.
get some rave bitches.
Hey, rape bitches break my fucking heart every time, bro. Rape
He'll write a
bitches.
song about it.
Hey, dude, I dropped like 3 good songs from that shit, dog. I don't give a fuck. I'll get with another rave bitch and drop an EP next time. I don't care, bro.
Well, then you'd be at least using your time wisely.
I am still doing it. I'm using it wisely always. No, but I feel like, fuck. Yeah, I lost where we were talking. Can we get back
You were
to it?
talking about 666 at the end of
Yeah,
names,
so basically,
like representation.
like same with 999, right? That's tying in with like some. I would say 9 is like the unity, right? Let's say 6, right? 6 is dark, right? And then if there's dark here, it ties in with yin and yang. You know what I mean? There's got to be light. So let's say 3 is the light, right? You get 9, and that's the unity of both of them. You know what I mean? But when you're like just throwing that 999 on your shit and not really knowing anything about it, what are you really doing? Say you're throwing the 666 on the shit and tying your shit in with dark energy for no reason. What are you really doing? You know what I mean?
I just would really like to hear from people that do represent numbers and not know what, or at least I would like to know what the numbers mean to them. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're
'Cause
saying.
numbers have always kind of like
Well, Shrimp
triggered me.
said that little
The
6 proton.
protons,
I think he's.
neurons,
I think he just said that so that he's not tied in with the 666 dark guy anymore.
Well,
I don't think he really like was thinking about that when he went
think
into it.
about
It was just like a way like to change it up. Honestly,
I don't know.
It's
That's
Here,
nothing
look
against
that
you.
up,
I fuck,
what the
I fuck
nine-
with Shrimp heavy.
what
Shrimp and Bar,
999
hey,
means.
Shrimp and
I'm
Bar.
curious.
Y'all are the coolest people in Des Moines. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Other than like
I know what 666 is. That's
Fuck
obvious.
out of here.
Do you guys know what that means? 999.
First, whoa, look up.
Okay,
Look up.
so-
Look
Oh,
up
it's the
angel
thing
number.
from the
Look up
Bible?
angel number. All right. So
Or what?
angel numbers. So each like triple numbers, right? Say when you look at a clock, right? Say it's 111 a lot, right? You look at the clock.
That's like 99 after that.
You look at the clock like every day, right? And you keep seeing it at 111, right? So
Yeah.
you're like, shit, what does that mean? Right? You look it up type shit, and each of the like 1 through 9, right, triple numbers all have different meanings and shit. And there's other ones.
Oh.
That might be a good picture there if we can get that.
Yeah. Can you zoom into that? Try to get one with a bigger,
But
so you can read them.
there's also like numerology is what I'm really into
Okay.
type shit. Like each of the numbers 1 through 9 are pure numbers, right? So like any number type
Okay.
shit. Like say you got
Oh.
12, right? 12 would turn into 3. Like there's only 1 through 9 pure numbers.
You
Like
gotta slow it down and tell them about
hey bud,
vortex.
hey
math.
bud.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I mean,
no, bud.
that makes
No.
sense for
You can't just
juice.
We're doing-
get to the point. You gotta get
No,
them
you don't gotta
low.
explain vortex math to explain vortex math.
A little bit.
Just explain vortex. Psh. All right.
You guys were on
He
something
said
completely different there for a minute. But that 999 makes sense with juice. Kind of.
This one say?
You'd be nudged to finish something. I don't know.
But,
That sounds like
so
aspiring
you know what
and
I'm
all
saying?
that. I
Like
don't
when you
know.
look at the clock, right, and you see 111 a lot. Say you look at the clock like
Yeah.
3 days in a row, and you see 111 every time on the clock,
Mhm.
right? So you're like, fuck, what does that mean? So you look at that shit, right, and it's like a message. It's a message from your higher self type shit, and it's trying to fucking guide you. Like here's how I look at it, right? When you see these numbers, say you start seeing fucking 555 a lot, right? Huge change up head, right? So that's a little heads up, whatever. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. It's a message from your higher self. And when you can actually, numbers don't ever lie to you. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, or if you don't want to
It's
believe
almost
it.
like they're placed there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try not to dive too deep in it because I don't really give a fuck what people think. But when I see a number multiple times a day, I'm like, clearly I'm supposed to listen to this number. You know what I'm saying? You don't wake up at 3:15 every day. You wake up at 3:14 every night. You know what I'm saying?
That's your
you'll
number.
see
That's
one-
when you wake up every night at 3:14. So you're like, what does that mean? You know what I mean?
I should look into this. I should see what this means. You know what I'm saying?
There's no coincidence. Like when you realize, like basically how I look at this, I look at especially this dimension, right? This universe, whatever, right? It's all a game, pretty much. And when you can learn the rules of the game, you can start playing it like a game. You know what I mean? So like the rules I've learned from doing a lot of psychedelics and experiencing things, because everything I've learned has been through experiencing it myself or hearing from somebody who I trust experience. You know what I mean? So like the rules pretty much are that if you do good, like good shit's gonna come to you. If you put out positivity into the world, put out love into the world, you're gonna get it back. It might be hard sometimes. Like when you get down and out, say you've been doing good for a minute and then shit starts getting real tough, you're like, what the fuck? I've been doing good. Why is this happening? All that shit's a test to see if you're gonna push through and keep doing good, or if you're gonna fold and be like, damn, I'm upset. I'm gonna go do something bad to somebody else because I'm upset. And see those people that do the bad shit when they get upset, say they're like, the same people who hate on you when you're getting up, you know what I mean? When you're getting some numbers and they're like, I'm not getting numbers, I want to drag you down. Then people, until they stop dragging other people down, they're never going to get up. You know what I mean? You don't see me on nobody's post talking shit anymore. Like definitely at the start, I would do that dumb shit and I wasn't getting nowhere. You know what I mean? The shit's dead. When I started actually like showing love and like supporting people and like putting good energy out and shit, I started getting it back. My numbers really started growing and shit. Like it's not, like with putting shit out in spirituality, like giving out good energy and that shit, it's not going to be like gratification instantly. You know what I mean? Like you can drag somebody down and that might piss them off instantly. But if you're trying to build up some shit, you're trying to give positivity out, might not come back to you instantly, but you got to have that faith that it's going to come back to
You
you
gotta
at
have
some
the
point.
eye to be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? If you hold the door for 5 people, you have to just be thankful when somebody holds the door for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not always like that. I've had the door slammed on me. I've had people act like they don't see me there. You just gotta have the eye open for blessings because there's honestly a lot more blessings than there is fuckery.
You
know what I'm
can't
saying?
ever expect
There's a lot of
blessings
things
and
that
do
could have
shit.
happened slightly different to make your day a lot worse. And when people set the world up and your future up for making things just slightly easier for you, you know, whether it's your teacher passes out pencils and yours happens to have an eraser on it. You know what I'm saying? The smallest fucking shit like that matters and points me and guides my direction into helping people have that same easy, just have shit lined up for them. You know what I'm saying? Have it to where they don't have to deal with it or struggle in whatever it is that they're trying to do.
I feel like when you start getting like negative shit happen, you say you lose your job, say you get a bunch of bullshit going down, right? Instead of being just like, damn, the world's playing me wrong. Like, what? It's sorry me. You know what I mean? You gotta look at yourself, and you gotta take like a retrospective look and see like, damn, what am I doing to deserve this? You know what I mean? Because it's never like you're never the only one feeling how you're feeling. You're never the only one who's sad. You're never the only one getting some bullshit happening to you. You know what I mean? There's a reason everything happens. Everything in this world goes down for a reason. Like, that's why there's no coincidences. That's why you see that number all the time, because it happens for a reason. It's trying to tell you something.
I mean, I don't know. Just for me, I guess personally, I would see that more of like a coincidence than anything with numbers. I mean, I guess I don't know.
Do you believe in coincidence?
I mean, like, I guess I don't think there's like any kind of meaning behind coincidence. I think coincidences happen.
I think you can look too deep into it and make that. Like, here's the thing: you can see that 111 at 111 every day, right, for a week straight, and then you can be like, oh, 111 here, 111 there. What should all mean? That's when the coincidences are just bullshit. And you're going crazy. But when you know, like, it's about trusting yourself, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't trust yourself, it's gonna be hard to fucking believe that you're more than fucking just here. But all of us are more than here, and when you can realize, like, you have a higher self, you got not people, but you got entities out of this dimension that are looking over you, and you got somewhere that you're supposed to be, you got a goal, a destination here with reincarnation. Like, you keep coming back here until you reach your goal. You might die in this life, you might not ever be able to realize that the numbers are trying to tell you something, right? But then 3 lives down the line, when you're actually ready to grow, and we all grow at different points, you know what I mean? You can't force somebody to get into spirituality before they're ready, because we all got a different destination, a different path. But in the end, it always comes down to that, in my opinion. That's how you get, when you want to go on to the next game after this video game, when you want to go on to the next level, you start listening to the numbers and you start fucking getting out of here. Because that's the shit, like, trusting yourself, it's all feeling there. You know what I mean?
The rat race, out of what everybody else is doing, and it's such a big distraction to a lot of people. And like he was saying, you don't get one lifetime, in my opinion, to figure all this shit out. That's why, as a human species, we're all still here. We're all pretty much chilling. We've progressed. We've degressed on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I think that you can eventually either get somewhere or someplace that's like this, or let's say you just get so far, you do good things your whole life, and you do die, and you come back. Well, maybe your life's going to be better. Maybe you're going to have more of an influence. Maybe you're going to be a stronger being. Or who's to say there isn't a place that we can go to and fucking vibe out with a bunch of people we love and meet new people, new entities, new animals. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just I'd like to not believe that it's just some black space you go to. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I feel like it's hard for me to believe.
It is a black space, but
So-
it's what you can create.
So
in that
sorry,
black space.
slow down. So I'm just trying to kind of figure out what.
Yeah, we're
so
kinda running through.
so what do you guys believe then? I guess like I pick up hints of reincarnation in Buddhism.
It's a little, I would say, definitely far from like Catholicism and like Christianity. They definitely, you can take things, Christianity specifically, you can take things from, like, there's a lot of good teachings in there, but it's a lot about like what you make of it. You know what I mean? It's like, it gives you a basis of how you're supposed to live to be a good person or whatever, but all the stories and that never really happened. It's just like a moral of the story. I think Catholicism is really just based on evil. Like, it's fuck shit. You know what I mean? And then Taoism, I guess, is what most aligns with what I believe, Taoism and Buddhism. But I wouldn't say, like, I'm a Buddhist or a Taoist or whatever. I would just say I take teachings from them and apply it to my life. You know what I mean? I'm not any religion or anything. I'm just me. You know what I mean?
Very free formed. What about
Or
you?
who were the people that, created the religion? Because, like, I grew up Christian, and then I kind of branched out into, like, Buddhism, and then just straight up kind of like, yeah, like you said, a free base, or just kind of a free mind. And then you think about it, and as long as you're doing good for the world, I don't think that you're wrong by any means. You know what I'm saying? If you're helping yourself, helping your family, helping people, it's very, very hard for me to believe that I'm going to go rot somewhere or burn alive because I'm not believing in a certain person. And I definitely feel like you can make your own religion. I think that's a thing. I think along the lines of my lifetime, I'll write a book of some sort that just gives people the right guide. Or I probably won't even have a name on it as of now, but it's pretty easy to, like, understand life without being so overwhelmed on questions like, why the fuck are we here? What do I do? I just made a quote the other day. It was like, all fear is when you overthink on a mystery. There's so many mysteries you can ask, why are we here? Why are we here? And you're trying to figure it out. Well, that's going to cause you to fear why you're here, or maybe fear the wrath of somebody.
Fear of not finding out why you're here.
any mystery you get into, if you don't understand it to the fullest and you keep asking the same question, you're going to start to either panic or lose your mind trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
You can do that shit. Same thing with the numbers. You know what I'm saying? If you're like 1, you know what I mean? You can lose your mind. You can lose your mind to it, but you can also take a piece of it. Like I take a piece of Taoism and benefit my life with it. Not everything's the numbers. You know what I mean? But when I know that it is the numbers, I'm gonna listen to the numbers. Just like when I see that I gotta change, I gotta make a change, or my life's gonna be in a bad position, I'm gonna listen to that. You know what I mean? I don't think. I guess our thoughts do come from ourselves, but I feel like we pull our thoughts out of like a higher space of consciousness. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever heard of the mastermind concept?
No, I'm not
Basically,
familiar.
it's like, say you're having a conversation with somebody, right? You
Okay.
two putting your minds together creates a third mind to pull ideas from, type shit. You bouncing ideas off of each other, you're going to think of ideas that you would have never thought of just by thinking of them yourselves, like, either way. Like, you think of them solo, he thinks of them solo. You're never going to have the same ideas as that third mind when you put them together, type shit. I feel like that's where, like, consciousness can come from. That's where our thoughts, like our genius ideas and shit, that's like a blessing. You know what I mean? You got to realize that that's a blessing.
I agree with that, and that even ties back to music and groups of people. that make
Exactly.
music. More concepts, more perception, more perspective. You get new ideas, you get new criticism, and you can combine energy to figure out shit that people haven't thought about. I think the mind definitely works.
Think
that
about
way,
how
with
big
2 or
that.
3 minds, 4
Think about how
minds,
big
long as-
that third mind would get, right? If you take 8 minds and put it together. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean by combining the energy and shit.
You ever seen like
Yeah.
meditations of world peace? People that are in like trying to think of where this video I saw was.
Like Bakara, kind of like the old like
Where they all
tribes.
sit and they're literally just hoping for world peace. I'm pretty sure there was a day that no one got murdered in the entire world.
Wow.
Don't fact check that, but something along those lines is that the crime rate or brutality rate is a good word for it. Was like at an all-time low at the time. I think over millions of people were all meditating on peace.
Well, I mean, even the CIA, if you want to get like believe it or not believe it, or like trust government, whatever. CIA just released a bunch of documents talking about how fucking like you can reach a higher state of consciousness and that there is other dimensions through 3 different forms of like meditation and shit, like yoga, meditation, Kundalini yoga. Like the CIA literally just released shit saying that that's true. You know what I mean? So like.
Wait, that what's true? Sorry.
That there's other dimensions and that you can reach them through states of meditation and shit.
The proof of energy or the fact that energy is a valid source.
I guess I don't understand how the CIA would.
No, like
Release that.
okay, so you know who Nikola Tesla is?
Yeah, yeah.
All
That
right,
sounds
so
familiar.
basically, Nikola Tesla, right?
You want to look that up, Molly?
When he was like 90 years old, right? He was chilling in a hotel, right? And he was living in this hotel for like 20 years before. He was broke as shit, and after doing, because Nikola Tesla was the one who really figured out about energy and all sorts of like fucking. He was the one who created every kind of wave, pretty much, like microwave, fucking television, radio waves, and that kind of shit. Like, and then when he was like 90 years old, he killed himself or died of fucking old age or some shit. But he got murked. Like, CIA went and killed him and then confiscated a bunch of his documents and shit. And they're just now basically releasing the kind of shit that he found.
Did I say 2000? Here, go back to that. It had the PDF.
It'll be CIA as well.
Oh, it costs
Yeah.
money?
Oh, they're
Are you
taxing,
fucking
bud.
kidding me?
Hey,
I got to see it free.
hey, you can give me $20 and I'll explain it.
Well,
40 if I can pull phones out to tell you.
Yeah.
damn, fucking government. Sorry,
No, but like that's just a little proof, like fucking like government saying shit true or whatever. Like it's hard to believe just a random person saying the shit, but when like big government whatever saying it, you know what I mean, it's a little bit easier to believe. But, like everything I'm saying. And shit,
really, I feel like
Well,
it's
you
the
know what I'm
opposite.
saying?
It can definitely be both ways, a distraction from something or throwing you off of
Astral
a
projection.
bad
Hey, that astral projection one is crazy as well. The astral projection caper one by the CIA.
about the bottom of the screen.
I'm
Yeah,
probably have
that
to pay
shit's-
for it again.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But that shit's
They're trying
wild.
to- they're trying to tax people to read documents.
That's so stupid.
But see, basically,
I mean-
a lot of this shit that they're releasing is all from Tesla, right? When Tesla apparently killed himself or died in his sleep or whatever, right? Fucking CIA murked him, pretty much. And they got all of his documents and shit, and they're just now, like, they studied it. They did their own little research on the shit that he figured out, and now they're releasing it. You know what I mean? Like, it already happened to Tesla before, like, when Edison, but you know how Edison created the light bulb or whatever, right? Where they got a bunch of shit marked out. See, I was fucking with these when they were on the deep web and shit before all this shit came out. Like, I was deep into, like, deep web, like, fucking classified documents and all the bullshit. Like, I originally started like DDoSing pedophiles and shit on there.
Damn. I guess I'm trying to figure out like how that's like the CIA giving out evidence. It kind of
Because the
seems
CIA
like.
literally released documents.
Well, yeah, but
explaining
like
what it
I
is.
guess I'm just
Things that
questioning the legitimacy of the documents. I guess.
Well, they're on CIA.gov.
No, I understand that, but I mean that doesn't mean that it's.
I guess it just
I mean-
helps people that are trying to awaken people or believe in this movement. As an activist, I feel like it helps people, kind of like the Bible. The Bible is definitely regularized in society and through government. That's why on our currency it says, "In God we trust." You know what I'm saying? So if we have some of the government, whether it's the DEA, the CIA, nobody gives a fuck. They have a badge and they have a website and a .gov. And if they're saying stuff about it, then people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to look into this because it's a higher power. It's my higher power. It's who they think is running shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a more comforting, like, just like when fucking government said, all right, weed cool now. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, all right, weed cool now. They say, all right, astral projection real now. Everybody like, all right, astral projection real now. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It kind of seems like a dance to me. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm a little skeptical. I will say.
for sure, you gotta do your own research into it to like you.
True.
If
Your own
you,
experience, you know what I'm saying?
that's
true.
what I mean.
Lifetimes.
It's all about experience. If I would say like 2 years ago, even a year ago, almost like I would have been in the same boat with you. You know what I mean? But like it's about experiencing the shit. When you experience it, when you experience shit that's undeniable, you can't just say it's a coincidence when you know it's not.
So let's get into that a little bit. You were talking about ego, like you experienced ego death, essentially.
sure.
I know you didn't want to talk about that too much, but I mean, you might as well get into
I'm
it.
down to talk about that. I just meant other
Yeah.
kind of illicit activities. I'm not stressing about like drug use or anything like that. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I would say I've done a lot of psychedelics. I've done pretty much every drug other than fucking like heroin and crack type shit.
That's good. That's good
Um,
not to do those.
Maybe a little heroin and some ecstasy, but not ever intentional. I've never done meth, like just straight smoked a bowl of meth. But I mean, I've done meth and ecstasy and shit. That's how it happens, bud.
Fucking tweet.
Nah, but like I would never intentionally do meth. That shit's been deep in my family. Same with crack. Like, but I was doing psychedelics for a fat minute, right? I was doing like it was still when I was doing acid. Like I would pop like 4 tabs, I'd go like 5 tabs, 6 tabs, and then 7 tabs over like 3-4 days, right? So you would go up like 2 tabs every day so that you could keep tripping. 'Cause acid tolerance, acid tolerance gets retarded, right?
Yeah,
So
I
it
can
goes up
imagine.
so
Holy
fast,
shit.
bro. So fast, and like basically I realized I was doing acid for the wrong reason. I was doing it to get high. Because like I started doing drugs, I was just smoking weed. You know what I mean? And I was like, fuck, dude. Weed, I'm not getting high enough anymore. And that's when I really had some like tough shit going on in my life, like first heartbreak and that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it, I'm doing some cocaine, right? And so I started fucking with the cocaine, and like then I got in the psychedelics. Like I never really, it went from like weed. I mean, I did Xanax, but like that was really just like I don't even talk about that shit. That was just fuck shit.
Fuck boy face for sure.
Yeah, dude, Xanax. Hey,
bad.
here's
Yeah,
the thing.
I don't
All
fuck-
downers. Hey, fuck downers. Fuck perks. If you do perks, you're a retard. If you do fucking Xanax, you're a double retard. All right. Like, here's the thing. I fuck with downers heavy because I really started. I was making music heavy, right? So I was just like I was sniffing cocaine, doing ecstasy heavy, fucking making a bunch of music and shit. And that's how I was on the grind so crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Especially back when I was like back in like fucking when I first doing the Miss page and shit. I was grinding heavy, but it was definitely drug fueled and shit. And it was like. I started popping the acid heavy, you know what I mean? And I was doing the acid like I was doing the coke, just doing it to get high, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that shit's whack. Like you're not getting anything. I'd had some like crazy experiences on the acid where it was spiritual, but I was doing it too much, you know what I mean? Like, and so I started taking breaks from it, and I would do acid like maybe I think when I had that ego death, it was on this 220 UG tab.
It was on one tab. You had ego death.
220 UG, so it was like 2 tabs.
Oh,
right?
okay. Still,
but it's the purest shit. I'm not gonna speak on it or anything, but it's very very pure. It's 99.3% pure. Like the strain of it is Dr. Seuss 3.0. It's some wild shit, but I popped one of those after not doing acid for like 2 weeks, right? And I definitely think that the ego death was inspired from being uncomfortable, like, but not in a bad way. Like when you have a bad trip, I would say those are the best trips because you're gonna learn the most from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even like the term bad trip.
Dude,
Someone,
he spazzed for that one.
yeah,
It's
or
uncomfortable.
Yep,
What it
Duncan
was for me
Keith.
was I took off my shirt and I was a lot heavier at the time. I was like fucking 220, right? Dude, I was losing hella weight. I've been getting good on the shits. But I was like 220, right? Biggest I've ever been. And I took off my shirt, right? And it made me very comfortable in my body and shit. But that's what gave me the ego death, was because it made me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So I think like, and I've had experiences like that with other people where I wasn't having ego death, but they were, and it was stemmed from them being uncomfortable, but not necessarily in a bad way, like in a growing way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. So, sorry, go ahead.
It's actually been proven when it comes to tripping. You get the sensation of when you have just a regular trip or a good trip, let's say, that you did learn something, but you're not really sure what you learned. And psychiatrists have literally proven that having a bad trip is the only way you can actually take something from that realm or that feeling and use it in this world, or even your person or your personality or the change. And that's a lot of the time when you have ego deaths or fucking you forget how to walk the same, or you're questioning what you're gonna say the next sentence, all sorts of shit. I've had some wild encounters and experiences with psychedelics as well.
I would say doing DMT is really when I started opening my mind up about like how you can use psychedelics for more than just getting high and shit. Like DMT really just, it shows you what you can really benefit from psychedelics. Your first time doing DMT, you might not blast through or whatever, but when you really go into a DMT trip and you're like, you say you're asking a question, right? And the whole point of you doing that DMT is so that you get this question answered, and then you get the question answered, you're like, damn, I can really do that with psychedelics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted to take DMT, like until recently. I've had like until I had like my really bad trip experience. I've kind of been iffy about even trying psychedelics in general. But
sure, you got to be in a strong headspace to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think I don't know. I think
you
it's
get benefits out of doing it when you're down as fuck. But for your first time, you want to be in a good headspace. You don't want to be on any drugs. Like you don't even want to be really doing nicotine or anything. Mixing a little bit of alcohol, like a shot or some shit with it, is busting. It like brings down like the uncomfortability, or not necessarily uncomfortability, but like the anxiety about going into it and that kind of shit. Doing it for your first time, like a shot of alcohol helps with it. Like the Egyptians, like they used to mix fucking wine and Blue Lotus and mix like psychedelics and that kind of shit with a little bit of alcohol to like make it easier to transition into that.
Damn. Would you ever take like ayahuasca or?
I was actually getting ready to get into that when you start talking about. You're not supposed to be doing drugs with a lot of psychedelics because it can fuck with the receptors, and what it's supposed to be doing is you're adding shit into it's like putting a fucking dog on a railroad track. That dog's not there when you're on that train, but you put a dog there, you're running over this train. It's a different path. It's a different train that your mind takes, and you're adding on new elements for shit to get in the way, or new thought patterns, new thought paths even. And with ayahuasca, like if you go on a journey, or what is it? It's not a tour, guided trip
type shit.
They have them out there for tourists in like Peru, I want to say, a few different other places, and they'll put you on a certain diet for like a week, and I want to say one or two of the days you're fasting majority of the time, and there's no other drugs that they really ever mix that shit with, and it's definitely been an interest for me. I would love to try ayahuasca.
For sure, same here, but I wouldn't want to do it unless it's in a tribal experience. Like, unless I'm guided with the shit, same with, like, peyote, I wouldn't want to ever do that shit, and, like, solo, dolo, like, doing it like I would do DMT, you know what I mean?
I have heard some of those shaman, or what, the shaman, right? Yeah. Yeah. I have heard, like, and not to say this about everyone, but I have heard, like, some of them kind of use that as, like, a manipulation tool. Like the Aztecs, for instance, that's how that whole thing was, like.
I've definitely seen people get manipulated by psychedelics and that shit. I don't know. You can
Marilyn Manson, all that.
You can do it with positive intention. It's all intention based, but you can definitely do some fuck shit on psychedelics to people. Same, you can do some really good shit with psychedelics with people.
And mind you, you're out of like the country. If they want to cut you up and take your organs,
oh yeah, you're done.
Wake
bro.
up with no organs. That's not.
You don't wake up.
That's not.
You don't wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't just take the kidney though. They take everything. You think they're letting your fucking body go to waste? No, sir.
They got something out of it, and you spent money to get there.
Yeah, but dude, they can get some more out of it. You think the fucking Indians ever left nothing? No, sir. They were making shit out of the bones. Like, dude, they're serious about it down there.
Use the animal grease to build the pyramids. No, I'm playing.
No. Hey, use the fucking tourists to build the pyramids. Like.
So I guess what would you say is do you have like a, I don't know if you guys, still trip or whatever, but like what's your like favorite psychedelic or go-to psychedelic?
Oh, dude, I love acid. I'm not gonna
You're gonna
lie.
have to give that one to DMT. I feel
Damn.
Well, I don't even put it really
That's
in
intense.
the same. I would say when I'm taking that, when you say like favorite psychedelic, we're talking like salvia, like fucking acid, like shroomies type shit. I don't even think DMT is in the same level. Like it's completely different. You can't compare them at all. Like you compare acid and shrooms type shit. But I would say I love acid like as my favorite like recreational or like not as intense psychedelic. I would never do salvia recreationally. I've only done salvia one time, but fuck salvia. But like DMT, like yeah, I would never like really. It's a psychedelic for sure, but it's something way more than that. You know what I mean?
You can definitely tell when you first do DMT if you get where you're supposed to go. Some people kind of just get a glimpse and they're like, "Ooh, that was scary," or "I feel weird now." But when you get where you're supposed to go, or you see some of the shit you are supposed to see, you can almost get this feeling that you know it has a deeper purpose. It's not all just in your head, and that you get to see something either from another dimension or another life. And I think that's what honestly helps people break from their patterns of religion, of other certain beliefs. I think it really opens your mind to a lot of shit. And, makes you ask the right questions. Doesn't really so much give you a bunch of answers like religion claims to do. Just makes you ask the right questions on like, hey, what should I be doing? Where should I be at? And then suddenly you can ask a lot of the psychedelics or yourself what you should be doing, where you should be, what you need to work on. And then that's, in my opinion, what all psychedelics are for, is just the outside perspective to see yourself and how to change shit, how to get out of certain situations, how to find a solution.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that psychedelics can help reset your frame. I guess
Completely rewire your brain.
Yeah, I guess where you.
Same with MDMA. I guess I would consider MDMA a psychedelic as well. You know what I mean?
I've never fucked with MDMA. I've heard that. I don't know how you guys feel about this. Maybe you guys are proponents of Molly. I've always heard that there can be an issue with mood.
I mean, I don't know. I think psychedelics, there's always going to be an issue of mood. Like, you're especially on acid or shrooms, dude. Like, you get put in a bad mood, and that's a whole trip. I mean, you can get put in a bad Molly trip, but it's not really like that. Like, you're going to be busting off the Molly. You're going to be having a fucking great time. It's hard to have
experiences from Molly.
But it's a lot harder to have a bad experience on Molly than it is on psychedelic, or on like acid or shrooms.
I guess I mean like the days leading after the trip. Like you can, people can experience a lot.
Sickness for sure.
The first time I got
especially
into
on ecstasy.
And Molly, the first time that I got into that, I was like, I was drained for like 2 or 3 days after. I had these single stack ecstasy pills, right? And I ate probably, this was like last year sometime, and I ate probably like 20 of them in a like 8-hour span, and I didn't want to come down, you know what I'm saying? And so ended up sleeping for a solid like 12 hours after I was done rolling my dick off. And I just remember waking up and I'm just like, this is bullshit. Like I felt so down and drained of every chemical in my brain to where it was hard to crack a smile and hard to even think about progressing in life in general. And 3 days went by and I was feeling better. Got to working out and trying to eating right and getting my brain to restabilize itself.
I really, with ecstasy, I really started realizing it was an issue when like I did like 11 triple stacks in like a day, so that's like 30 singles type shit, and they were fucking. I would say probably like 3-4 of them were meth, like 5-6 of them were straight MDMA, and like a couple of them were heavy, like fucking either a little bit of heroin, a little bit of coke, whatever. You know what I mean? Shit's in the ecstasy, but if you're popping X, you're popping everything. Like, that's what it happens. Like,
damn.
But I did like 11 of those bitches, right? And I could not sleep that night. I literally like laid in bed for like 6 hours, right? And just listened to my heart go like it was fucking ridiculous, dog. Dude, hey, he was fat. Like, dude, my heart was not stopping, but I would hope it wasn't stopping, but dude, it did stop a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. Like when your heart skips a beat, especially when it's going like that fast, and then you're like, oh shit, what happened? It was supposed to keep going fast, but like I literally went to school the next day and I just felt like shit. But I was still busting. Like fucking ceiling in the school started like it looked like it was coming down and shit. Like I was rolling dick off the Molly, but I started realizing it was an issue there because, like, the next couple, I would say, like, 3-4 days, shit just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? Shit was off as fuck. Like, it definitely, if you do ecstasy, even, like, any upper, honestly, that much, like, it's gonna give you serotonin sickness at some point, and that when it gets serious about serotonin sickness is basically like all this, you know what serotonin is, right?
Yeah.
So like your serotonin gets drained, so your brain can't even produce like enough serotonin to make you feel the normal happy. So what I was doing is I was like doing the drugs to get to the normal limit, like where you're not even like happy, you're just like chilling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my serotonin would be so low that I couldn't even get to that level. I was just depressed as shit, and so I'd do the drugs to get to like alright level.
Normal, feeling
Damn.
normal. Just play with the receptors of your serotonin, just to be like, okay, I'm happy. I can see the good in something. And
Damn.
It's a dangerous spot to be. I would definitely say that kind of goes and ties in with like chasing highs almost. Like,
Yeah, oh,
how you get
definitely.
Stuck on certain drugs.
Definitely.
And trying to get back to where you were, even though you're never actually going to get back to where you were on any drugs, and you're chasing something that's no longer there.
Yeah, exactly. People need to remember, like, different drugs act differently for different people. You know?
Drugs are a great tool, but you can also overuse the tool, and you can turn them into where it's a habit and it's an addiction, not a tool. Like, I would say uppers, fuck downers. Downers aren't really a tool at all. Fuck downers. Fuck perks, fuck Xans. But uppers like cocaine, ecstasy, they can be definitely used to make fucking banging ass music. You can use them right, but that's when you're using it, you're doing it like, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna have a good time tonight, like one night out of the month where you pop an X pill and you make a bunch of music and you have a good time. But that has to be the one night a month. You can't have that one night a month every night. You know what I mean?
Right. As soon as you start to rely on anything, you're straying away from yourself. You're straying away from the purity of the art of everything. You know what I'm saying? If you're relying on a pill to do it, then you're not really shit. If I take your pills away from you, you're gonna retire. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
gonna stop drawing. You're gonna and then when it comes to psychedelics, when I was saying like you'll never get to the point you were, I think a lot of people do have bad trips. They're trying to either remember something that they used to do in a certain way, or used to say, I guess, or almost they try to diagnose themselves and see if they're different, or they feel so different to where they're like, why am I not the same? And that's when they start freaking out and
They're scared of change. You know what I mean?
It's
But
like
change
a
is
mental
good.
treadmill. They start exhausting themselves, and that's when you're actually doing damage to your mental and your body.
You ever been stuck in a psychedelic loop where you're just stuck in a thought loop or stuck in an action loop or some shit, and you keep doing the same shit over and over?
No.
It's pretty common. Fucking like, especially on acid, I would say. Like, it's like you say like a bad trip. A lot of the time, it's started. Well, I would say honestly, you probably have been stuck in a loop, or at least.
Well, okay. Like, I guess like the first time I tripped, I think everybody kind of or not everyone. It's people can get into the thought loop where like they don't think it's gonna end.
Oh yeah,
I guess I kind of got into that.
That's the best example.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. So
Yeah,
I know what
that
you're
kinda
saying.
shit.
Then
That's a lot of the time what gets led into a bad trip, because you start exhausting your mind.
Yeah.
Like, you're constantly thinking that. Like
5 minutes feels like an hour, and you start like freaking the fuck out.
And then you're like, when is this gonna end? And it's like that 10 minutes, 2 hours. Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
But
Lose
I guess
track
I
of
never
time.
really had the issue about like when is it gonna end. It was more of like being in uncomfortable situations on a psychedelic and it just making it worse. You know what I mean? Like I always knew the drug was gonna end, and I always like I've never OD'd heavy or anything like where I was like had to go to hospital or like was not good type shit. I've always been able to handle my drugs type shit. I guess that's why I've been able to do like harder drugs and shit, and not necessarily have a bad experience with it, because I always understood that it was a hard drug and you gotta be safe with them bitches,
You gotta
dude.
respect the drug.
You gotta respect
Yeah.
the drug, 'cause the drug will get your ass fucked.
Especially with psychedelics, you can kind of develop a respect when you do have your first bad trip, or you can understand that it's farther than just your mind or your understanding, and that a lot of the psychedelics can't be used recreationally because you can hurt yourself, you know what I'm saying? Or you can put yourself in a state of mind that you quote unquote don't come back from, or you do get hospitalized.
Yeah.
I've had some pretty shitty experiences, but they're all learning experiences over time, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people get stuck on, is they won't accept they won't accept the change, and it's fast change. They're trying to be somebody they're not anymore. And then, I mean, that's what growing is in general. You get to forget pieces of yourself to remember new things and to learn new things. And if your brain's got a bunch of bullshit from the past stuck in your fucking brain, what are you really learning? What are you taking? What are you remembering now? You know what I'm saying?
It's true. Not to be bold, but like I guess you're kind of young. You have a lot of stories for 17. I'm kind of surprised. Do you ever wonder if like, there's gonna be any like long term effects for you with all this?
I'm already.
He's kind of retarded.
There's already there's already the effects a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do still hard. Jesus
You
Christ.
do.
Yeah. Hey, look, you got my ass, right? Nah, I still do hard drugs and shit. Like, but very, like, I do them a lot more safe. Like, I would say last summer I was wilding out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But like,
Straight Nick Cannon style.
like, but I don't know. I do it a lot safer, and I don't do it. I would never say I'm addicted to drugs as of now or anything. I've definitely had like times where I would say I'm addicted to shit, but like I'm very safe about the shit, and I know I don't need it or anything now. Like, even with smoking weed, I don't do it very much. Like, I try to keep my mind pretty clear. But I guess I don't know. When I would turn like 14, 15, I really like I started living fast. I guess I don't know when with the music shit. I know this is what I want type shit, so I'm not gonna like fucking put my life on hold. Like, I'm not gonna live for somebody else type shit. I'm gonna do what I want, I guess. But it's not like I gotta live this shit. You know what I mean? I'm talking about what I actually do. Like, you can believe me or not, but like all this shit I say, I've experienced. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm glad I experienced it, and I'm glad I experienced it when I did. But it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Like a lot.
They either don't know how to tell the story, or they're trying to make something out of something it's not.
For sure.
Or a lot of artists that get writer's block or just stuck on certain things, or figure out that they're making repetitive art. Well, sometimes you have to get off the couch and actually go find something to talk about. If you're seeing the same thing every day for a month, you're going to rap about the same thing every day for a month. You go outside, you go on an adventure, you're going to learn about some new shit.
Before I started going by LoveUnity and shit, I took like a month and a half break from making music. I kind of forgot how to make music type shit. It was weird. Like, I forgot that I could use it as an outlet, and I was just I was fucking off, not doing what I was supposed to be type shit. And then like when I came back to music, like I really had a crazy like it was a complete different mindset. Like, taking that little break and like really living life and experiencing the shit that I had to experience like made my music so much better. Like, it's so much realer. Like, I don't know, when your music's actually fucking what you're talking about, like when you're really doing what you're saying, or like trying
that
to
shit.
what is quote I live by, I want to get it tatted on my arm right here, is what is real will prosper. Fucking X said that right when he got out of jail the first time, when he it was on his first interview right when he got out of jail. He said what is real will prosper type shit, and like I heard that when I was like 13. Ever since then I've like lived by that type shit. Like, being fake is what's dragging this world down. You know what I mean? If everybody just said how they really felt, there wouldn't be near as much issues. The drama wouldn't be like as close to what it is. You know what I mean? Everything's like people talking behind people's backs and bullshit, and I just can't fuck with that.
Yeah, I respect that, definitely. How's COVID affected you guys?
Fucking not at all. Honestly, like, dude, I said COVID's bullshit. I don't know. I feel like Italy already released the shit talking about how it's a bacterial infection and it's not even really a virus. So it's basically chemical warfare. It's not by the governments. Like, Italy literally released a study saying it's not a virus. It's a fucking bacterial infection. Like, she can fact check it. I'm serious. That's real facts. But basically, COVID's bullshit. I feel like masks are just show compliance. Like, I don't know. When you go to Walmart, you gotta wear a mask. I don't ever wear a mask. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's
Use
bullshit.
it to get indoors like a hall pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I got kicked
bullshit.
out the other day. Price Chopper down the street. Some old lady who was not wearing a mask told me to leave, and then as I was leaving, another guy was leaving without a mask. I was pissed.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really believe it. I mean, and the United States has been inflated. There's a reason the United States is still like the leading in deaths, even though like places like fucking Netherlands and Italy literally have like 200 confirmed cases right now, right? But the United States has like 55,000 or some shit.
Yeah.
What it is that they're taking pneumonia deaths and they're taking like common flu, influenza deaths and shit, and they're saying that it's COVID deaths. Only 6% of the last you showed me some shit that was wild.
Yeah, it said something like 6% of recorded or of deaths from COVID. There's only been 6% out of the listed deaths they have, because all it does is magnify a disease or an illness or a weakness in the body.
Basically,
and then they'll die from that, because it does magnify that. It'll kill them, and then they'll be like, oh, COVID did that. Even though this person had lung tuberculosis or fucking cystic fibrosis, well, they don't care because he had COVID. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like also it's a play at fucking covering up the Jeffrey Epstein shit. Let's be real here, bud. Right when COVID started popping off, bud. Hey, dude,
we're getting deep.
No, dude, look, dude, literally just seen some shit yesterday, right? And it's fucking on Facebook, right? You search this.
Sorry, one sec. Molly, did you find that?
No.
No, okay. Sorry.
Look up
Go
Italy.
ahead.
Look up Italy shit. That's what released it. But here's the thing. So fucking on Facebook, right? You search up this keyword baguettes right? And there's a bunch of fucking Indian children prostitutes.
Damn.
So, like, all right, look, Jeffrey Epstein, literally, you know about the shits, right?
Yeah, I've
All
heard.
right, look, right when shit started popping off, bud. That's when fucking COVID started popping off. That's all I'm saying, bud.
From the get, it's always felt like a cover-up for something. I've never quite understood what the whole like main plan was, but there's definitely been a lot of shit and a lot of chaos and a lot of crazy, like controversial shit to happen over this time span. I don't even. It definitely fucks up with my concept of time. I definitely, like, I got hit with this emotion the other day where I was like, when do I actually get to go places and not see people with masks on? Or, like,
Yeah.
when do I get to go bowling, or like, when do I get to go do shit? Like, I don't know. It just felt like I was not spending my money with the right people because I couldn't. It was no longer because it wasn't my choice. It was just like I felt like I needed to be able to have the freedom, even though they don't really take a lot of shit from you. Like, you can go eat at restaurants, sit a table away from somebody, and
Well, they just had the mandate like a couple days ago in Polk.
yeah, I heard they closed the bars back down.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. The shit that's going on is
Another
crazy.
thing is I've been on probation now for fucking 7 months or so, and
Oh, damn.
I haven't had to drop one time because of probation. You know, I've been being a good little boy, but
Yeah, you don't want to get
No
surprised.
drug
it's
use.
just kind of goofy.
He did not
but,
participate in any drug use.
No
That was
drug
all solo.
activities.
That was all solo activity.
Um,
I'm so serious.
But yeah, so I think it's kind of a weird play on the legal system in general. Like, if people aren't having to drop, if shit is, or there's a point in time where if people weren't going to jail for the typical charges you would go to jail for because there were so many people in jail and they didn't want COVID to spread around.
Dude, cops weren't even on the streets for a fat ass minute.
Yeah.
Like, shit was running wild, bud. But feds were in town. Feds were taking care of what they
So
needed to take care
in
of.
California and New York, to help with this COVID, they dropped the bond to 0 on like all these like fucking cases. So people would like get arrested. There was one guy got arrested like 3 times in one day,
That's
and
fucking
like
ridiculous.
just fucking
Bonded out, but he was not playing. Hey, he made bond.
I'm good. Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Well, and you know, going back to the COVID, like the whole thing with that is there's actually financial incentive for these hospitals to like list a COVID death. They get like 2.5%.
That's why they're
I think they make
inflating.
more
That's
or
why they're
times more.
inflating the deaths and shit, dude. It all ties in, but that's all I'm saying. It makes too much
Yeah.
sense.
Big Pharma's always made money.
Fuck COVID.
Mhm.
I'm not wearing no mask. Fuck all the bullshit.
Fuck
Yeah,
Big Pharma.
What happens when they have the vaccine and they
pharma.
start requiring people to have the vaccine? That's when I'm fucking out of here.
Dude, yeah,
when
no,
they
no,
start
no.
doing that.
Hey, to go back to school and shit, they're trying to make me get some fucking vaccines. I said no. I'm just gonna do online school. I'm not going back to school. It's cool, but
Damn.
like they're trying to get the kids on the bullshit, dude. I'm serious. They're trying to give COVID vaccines in the school shit. I swear to God, fuck COVID.
Yeah,
That's my point.
I'm over it.
It's always just seemed like a mind over matter thing. Like, if you're gonna worry about and stress about what could happen to you outside, you're not gonna have a very good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you're worried
exactly.
about the tumor in your brain spreading to your toes. It might spread to your toes in a day, but if you're worried about, if you're thinking maybe, hey, this tumor in my brain is gonna go away here in about a month, your fucking tumor might go away. If you're worried about getting COVID when you walk outside, shit, you might come down with the fucking flu, and they might fucking write you down as another statistic. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah.
That's a big fact.
Yeah, I mean, I know, at least for me personally, like there have been people that like I've lost connection with because they're like so fucking anxious and uptight about the goddamn
Actually really
COVID.
bothers me.
Dude. Hey, when bitches won't, they're like, hey, I'll link when COVID's over. I'm like, all right, we're not linked.
All right,
with
never.
that.
At this rate, God.
Or the people who actually believe if everyone wore a mask for like 24 hours that COVID would just go away.
Yeah, because that makes any sense.
Because I'm pretty sure any bacterial or any sort of infection is going to stay airborne, and then it's also going to stay.
Dude, it's gonna go in your eyes. It's gonna go in your ears. It's not just the fucking mouth. Like,
Or yeah, can it be caught through the bloodstream? Like, is that a thing?
I'm not sure.
Anybody with open
I'll
wounds,
bet.
So why is
Oh,
there
I mean,
mandatory gloves? Why is there not fucking?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird little deal. to
it's
be
bullshit.
honest.
It's complete bullshit.
Yeah, well, and a big problem too is like, you know, it's hard to trust the information because it's like these government entities that have financial incentives,
Exactly.
and they've been telling us so much backwards, you know, contradicting information over the last, however, it's been 5-6 months, I think, by now. Yeah, I'm over it.
I actually just saw a post. I want to say it was Israel. I could be wrong. They were actually protesting COVID,
Hell
and
yeah.
I thought that was some pretty cool shit.
They're out. Hey,
Damn.
hey,
There's a lot of fucking
Israel,
people.
Italy, they probably got the studies out, but that's all I'm saying. Like,
I guess there's just so much people can really take. It just all seems like a giant test of patience to me because everyone wants oh, it's kind of tying back into psychedelics now for me. Everyone wants their old life back. Everyone wants it to go back how it was. But at the same time, are we even going to remember how everything was? Or is it ever going to be how it was?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, actually, if you guys think that, like, I don't know. I think we'll always see people wearing masks.
Oh, yeah, no.
Definitely going to cause a lot of younger people and older people to have anxiety or social anxiety in general, in my opinion. Because right now it's doing this little distancing shit. Well, okay, well, I like to talk to people. I like to go out.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
The impact in, like...
Creating social anxiety.
Yeah, suicides have, like, skyrocketed since this whole thing started.
Crime in general has...
Yeah.
Dude.
Fuck, the last month, that's, like, gone up.
That's what happens,
They don't talk about it when it's, like, there was a shooting, I want to say right when all this shit happened. A dude literally went to a Quick Trip and just started blowing people down that didn't have masks.
And nobody talks about it.
Damn.
Didn't make the news. And it just makes you wonder, like...
Where else
the news is... The media is so biased. I mean, it's obvious. I think if people don't realize that, you don't know what the fuck... You don't even know what's going on.
A news channel, call it Good News. All I'm saying is people would watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? How many times do you listen to the news and they're like, oh, this cat got saved from this tree by Des Moines firefighters. You don't hear good shit. They feed you about 5 bad things and 2 like neutral things. And then you're like, oh, damn, the world's a bad place. I need to protect myself. I need to move out of my neighborhood. Like, nobody ever actually watches the news and they're like, that's good. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It's weird to me.
Yeah, it's a hard balance because you want to stay informed, but like...
Weather's all that I'll watch. I can't get into the news, dude. I can't. That shit's depressing. I don't want to hear about everybody dying. I don't want to hear...
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get... Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't know. For me personally, like, I come from like a very political background, so I always still try to like keep in tune with everything, but I also try to keep an open mind and realize that there is... I mean... The amount of bias that's everywhere is just ridiculous. I mean, there are people that are saying, I think this does ring true. We are in a way like in like a psychological civil war.
100%.
You know, it's really, you know, in this day and age, maybe we're not out on the streets with guns. We're just out with our social media and our phones and our
that's what really
killing
matters.
people mentally. Going back to what you're saying with like positivity, negativity, like the 24 hours news cycle, like negativity fucking keeps that thing spinning.
And it's instant. You know what I mean? It's instant gratification.
Yep,
and that's
exactly.
another source that people have to believe because it's someone above them, or another thing that they're going to subconsciously take in and realize that the news is bigger than them. It's government, it's legal, it's federal, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So if they're saying a bunch of bad shit, then they're kind of hypnotizing the fucking general population to be fucking negative or have a shitty day. And me, I don't like to wake up and have a shitty day or be around anybody that's going to fuck up my vibe in the first like hour of my day, because that's when everything starts off. You can wake up in the first hour, and if you tell yourself you're having a fucking good day, you're probably gonna have a good day.
Yep.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
There's gonna be some bumps in the road always, but if you wake up fucking all sad and listening to fucking Juice WRLD and fucking emo pop, like, you're probably gonna have a fucking shitty day.
Hey, fuck emo pop, listen to Digipop. That's all I'm saying.
You know, I was not into Juice WRLD for a hot minute, but like recently,
I don't fuck with his message. I don't fuck with Peep's message. People gotta have a right message. They're leading the kids to nowhere. You know what I mean?
They're leading them the same exact path, in my opinion. Like he's Juice WRLD is a great example. He is one of the most talented artists we've seen in a minute. I think he did get slowly repetitive as his career grew. His career didn't last very long, obviously. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Is he's providing this false sense of like it's okay. And then when he dies, it's just like, oh
the drugs
shit,
won't hurt you.
We thought it was okay.
Drugs won't hurt you, and then they
you have
murked
all
you.
these kids that listen to Juice WRLD, and they're like, damn, well, I don't have anybody to listen to or follow or tell me that it's okay. And then they go through the same shit, you know what I'm saying? Or they find another rapper to jump to, and then that one dies. You know, there's been so many rappers who try to switch it to positivity when they see it's a fucking dead end. X was a great example. X was a big-ass piece of shit. Garbage human being, and then towards the end he realized that if he doesn't fucking take care of some shit and do some love for the world, do some great for the world, that he's not gonna see what he wants to see. And I don't know if he got to see what he got to see, but I think he gave a better message than a lot of these artists that did die.
He probably said what he had to and did what he did.
Damn. The one that hit me hard was Mac Miller.
Yeah,
I remember when that shit happened.
Well, he's been around long too.
Rip Mac.
Yeah.
Hey, rip PV skill though, for real.
Well, he had been sober and then he just went back and yeah, that shit was sad. So getting to like 2 hours here. This has been like a really lengthy, great
Dude, we're serious
podcast.
about it. Hey.
We just like to talk, you know.
Hell yeah. Before we wrap this up, though, I do have like one more I'm just kind of curious what you guys think. This is obviously, you know, talking about COVID, and we have an election coming up. We don't need to get too political, but I'm just curious, like, what do you guys think we're going to be at the end of the year, end of 2020?
Fucking, where am I going to be?
Where just like as a society, like America or Iowa,
honestly,
whatever.
I think it's just probably going to be even weirder. I don't know. It's going to, like, I don't know. Honestly. Fucking, dude, nobody expected COVID. Nobody expected Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody expected nothing. So I got no fucking idea what's going to happen.
For my opinion, I definitely want to see people just take this time to wake the fuck up and think about some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're just sitting here waiting for it to get better, better isn't specific. You know what I'm saying? What do we want out of this? What's gonna be different when everything does turn back on, or is it ever gonna? You know? So you can't sit there and just be like, oh, it's not going to ever be different. It's going to be shit. It probably will be weirder. He's not wrong. But at that time, it's going to be drawing more attention. And more, you can only say what the fuck so long to where you're like, wait a second. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? You can only be like, what the fuck? How's this happening? How is this happening again? How is this happening again? Until you're like, there's a reason this is happening. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that would go in this direction instead of fucking doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, society's weird.
It's gonna get weird.
Especially America, the big melting pot, you know. Yeah, we're the greatest, or not greatest, we're the most interesting experiment probably in this century.
Asia and fucking United States, bro.
Yeah, technology and all that. All right, this has been a great podcast.
Bro. I appreciate you having me on for sure.
Yeah, this was a fun time. You guys are both eccentric characters, interesting people.
We gotta make it happen again. I'm definitely down.
Yeah. Like I said, right. Yeah, it is really crazy the amount of people that
Dude,
have.
I appreciate your grind, dude, for real. Your grind's awesome.
Thank you.
I can see you doing big shit. Nobody else is doing this shit in the morning. You definitely got the best setup going. Like, you're in big shit with this for sure.
Hell yeah, I really appreciate that. Put a lot into it. So, all right. Well, I wish you guys luck on all your endeavors, and hope to see you guys again. Stay tuned. Next week we're gonna have Jordan Mayland on the podcast. He's a local. He has his own podcast called The Birdroom, and that's check that out. And he just put out a new solo album, so it's gonna be a really good time. All right. Adios, everybody. Get out of here. Peace. Thank you, everybody, for listening to today's episode. It was a pleasure to have these two in the studio today. It was a blast. Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have Jordan Mayland on the episode. He does In The Birdroom, which is a great local podcast. And he also just released a new album this last week, a solo project. So it's going to be really interesting to talk to him and to have another local podcaster on the show. Probably one of the most anticipated episodes ever. So you guys are not going to want to miss that one. It's going to be really great. It's going to be next Monday at noon, premiering as always. Until then, I hope everybody is doing fine, doing well. These are crazy times, but you know what? We will get through it together. All right. Peace out.